My friends call me Todd, but you can call me anytime.
You, me, we get in the car, drive down to Florida, have ourselves a good time!
A Night in Shinning Denim, a story of Todd the Celibate. Yeah, that's quite a name, I'll say that. I'm intrigued already. Hey everyone, long-time watcher, first-time poster here on this channel. Oh, well, looking into his post history, he is talking about my channel, so that's good. I guess he just didn't have enough karma to post in the personal separate. Whatever, it's fine, we're here now, okay? Good to meet you. I've tried writing down this story several times on my own, but each time I feel that my writing skills have lacked, and in my many rough drafts, I feel that I've been unable to do justice to this particularly wonderful specimen of a nice guy. I'm not a quitter, though, and I have enough scars and pins in my body to prove that, while I am not the brightest, I am definitely, well, sturdy. Dude, sometimes that's all it takes. Keep banging your head against the door until somebody opens it, you know? Yeah, sturdy, I guess. Enough about me, though. I finally gathered enough source material and scholarly peer-reviewed works to submit my work to the esteemed council of nice guy researchers and scholars. That's right, we don't pay much here at ReddX Industries. We're built on passion, I tell ya. As you take your seats on this fine evening, please select your finest prelude music as I set the stage and introduce the characters of our show. I do ask that you hold your applause, gasps, cries, and shouts of excitement until we've reached our end, as we wish for the characters to remain focused on their roles. Oh, I really like the set dressing and things that's going on here, you know? Your writing's better than you think. You're taking me on a journey right now. Names have been changed to protect identities, of course. The ages of the cast range from late teens, like 18 to 19, to early 30s. The majority of these stories take place while working at a hospital. During, no patients will ever be mentioned. Names of company, name of hospital, state, or city will not be mentioned to protect privacy and avoid any issues. I mean, we do have a top-notch legal team, but I appreciate that. The cast: Steve, friendly, angry giant from the land down under. Standing at 6'3" and 350 pounds of muscle, he is truly a giant to behold and also one of my best friends. He has a good heart, but has the skill set matching Liam Neeson from Taken, and yeah, he's happy to put it to use when given the chance. Kind of reminds me of that Snowman series, you know, doling out the beard justice. Calvin, my best friend for years. We used to work together, but unfortunately they've moved across the country to the East Coast here in the States recently, so their role is more of a supporting character. Hilarious and highly offensive to some people, mainly because Calvin believes in being straightforward and honest and has no filter to speak of. God, Calvin's my spirit animal already, dude. JJ, low-key chill dude who tries to be friends with everyone. Friendly nerdy Asian who loves woodworking, anime, D&D, and eating traditional Japanese food that his family has perfected over generations. Yeah, I'm going to his house. How many nights a week can I eat dinner there before it's rude? Todd is the antagonist of our story. Standing at 6'6" and roughly 300 pounds, although mostly fat compared to Steve, who is pure muscle at that weight, socially awkward, and to his credit, he acknowledges it, but continues to do nothing to improve himself. Yeah, throw your hands up, that's just the way I am! Seen it so often. He will always complain how no one will sleep with him, and talks about all the married women that he's tried to lure away from their spouses by stating that he's a nice guy and would treat them better. Yeah, I feel sorry for any bitch that's dumb enough to fall for that one. I'd laugh too. You're gonna regret that move in a few years, I'll tell you that. Terrible hygiene. His shoulders look like the Himalayas with the amount of dandruff that falls out of his greasy, unwashed hair. Yeah, that's disgusting. Don't you want your hair to be clean? Doesn't it feel better?
Little snowflake falling from the sky.
He constantly shows up to work with mysterious white stains on his shirt and pants and refuses to clean himself up to make himself look presentable. Now, some might argue that he's making a statement here, but I don't think he's fighting bourgeois morals. I think he's fucking fat and lazy, as I'm sure we'll see later on in the story. Riker, we will be calling them OP, around 6'1", around 240 pounds, fairly good shape, but I do have some fat that likes to hang around my gut, and it refuses to go away no matter how much I work out, run, eat healthy, or cry about it. Pretty nerdy, but I do have many other hobbies that seemingly make me pass for a normal, well-rounded person. Oh, that's nice. I'm definitely not normal or well-rounded, but hey, that's just for contrast. So that's it for the cast for the first episode, but there are several other characters that I will introduce that hopefully you will either love or hate. Yeah, just feel something. I honestly can say that depending on your personality, they could either be viewed as likable or just additional neckbeards. And now, without further delay, into our story. Scene 1, Act 1. This is the story of the time I met Todd, a large, rotund, self-proclaimed nice guy with questionable hygiene practices, whose victim complex was so bad that they carry around all of their problems like trophies, put them on display, and remind everyone how unfair life has been to them. Yeah, that's why I can act shitty, because I've had it harder than anybody. I understand that, yes, many times life can be unfair, and if you don't have a good upbringing, life can be more difficult for some than others. But most people grow out of the woe is me phase sometime around high school or college, and they bloom into beautiful, functioning members of society. Not Todd, though. Oh, no. He bloomed physically, vertically, and horizontally, just not mentally or emotionally. He was built like a linebacker, but somehow forgot to join the team. Todd was large and imposing, but at the time I met him, the damage was done and seemed irreparable. I mean, college is pretty late to get in the game, but I don't know. He might be able to pull it together. It's just like, are you willing to give him a chance? Not me personally, I don't have the energy, but maybe OP. Now, I am by no means a small dude. I'm over 6 feet and mid-200s in weight, but Todd was different. Around 6'6" and close to 400 pounds, this guy was imposing. Wow, he gained 50 pounds since the cast list. At this rate, he's gonna be fucking Moby Vic in no time, you know? Not like literally never mind. I had the unfortunate responsibility of training Todd at our hospital. I've been here for a while after moving from the south to the beautiful West Coast. Beautiful and expensive West Coast. I enjoy the natural beauty of where I live, and it reminds me of back home, just without the hurricanes or venomous wildlife that wants to kill me. Yeah, instead you get, like, earthquakes and wildfires. I don't know, pick your poison. Now, I knew I was going to be getting a new employee on my shift this particular night, and I was excited to have my team staffed up. I was sitting at my desk when I heard one of my coworkers gag next to me and ask, "Do you smell that? Did you rip ass again?" OP? No, not this time. Still engrossed in my work, typing up a report. Coworker? Oh my. That is a big boy. Holy shit, I think the smell is coming from him. I look up and see about 5 feet away my boss introducing what I can only assume to be my trainee to a few people in my section. And yeah, this boy was big. And he looked like he was doing his best to cosplay as Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3 when he was going through his emo phase, and a poor man's Peter Griffin from Family Guy. That's great. Pizza time.
Here comes Peter on the clothesline, but his name's Peter. Ready, Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
He had long, dark, greasy hair that came down over the right side of his face that he was constantly flipping and pushing back. Unfortunately, every time he moved his hair, I noticed a shower of white flakes descending gently onto his already white shoulders. Let me guess, he dresses all in black? You really haven't got this figured out? That's fucking crazy to me. You want to see emo hair? Here's some fucking emo hair. I look pretty good with emo hair, and you know why that is? Because I wash it. Because I wash it like a normal human being. At least most of the time. There's also like long bouts with depression, but we're not here to talk about that. And OP whispers to coworker, smells like he mixed up his deodorant with a handful of garlic. Coworker, it smells more like his deodorant went on strike and just never came back. I burst out laughing, unable to keep it in. My boss looks over at me and smiles. I can tell that he is dying inside from that smell and is trying really hard to be a professional about it. Boss, hey OP, this is Todd, your new tradie. And then he immediately turned and sped away before I could respond. Yep, ain't my problem no more. See you later, fucko!
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
OP says, nice to meet you, Todd. Glad to have you on board and excited to get to know you. Todd, thanks. As he opened his mouth, I could smell that he didn't just rub the garlic on his body. He definitely ate all of it after he was done. I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, I'm moderately excited that you're here, but I'd be much more excited if you didn't smell like shit. It's supposed to be a sterile environment, okay? You're flaking your DNA around in here everywhere. Instead, OP just says, oh yeah, it is a good place to work. Did the boss go over everything about our dress code and hygiene standards? What's expected to make sure that we look professional? Todd, yeah, he did. Still smiling. I won't have a problem with that at all. You already do. This is not going to be okay. Why is nobody addressing it? We have to wait until a patient makes a complaint? He comes in to empty out the bedpan and he smells worse than the fucking bedpan? That's sick people poop. It's really bad. Anyway. OP says, okay, good that you won't have any problem with dress code or hygiene standards, because where we work, it is particularly important to make sure that we don't make people sicker than they are. And that is our number one rule here. What I value more than anything else is to be clean and to have a professional appearance. Todd, how long have you been here for? OP, about 3 years. I moved here after finishing schooling. Todd, so you like it that much to stay? And OP says, yeah, the pay and the benefits are fairly good, so I can't complain. Todd then looks around at the staff around me working and leans in with a whisper. I bet you got some pretty good benefits from some of these girls. He then smiles and winks at me. Misogyny! I'm in on the joke! Yes, I love to shit where I eat, and I can tell that you're on the same boat because you smell like poop right now. I'm excited to get to know these pretty ladies better. As he says that, I see his eyes drift over the different girls I'm working with and leering with disturbing hunger. Don't you have any pull with the boss? Just be like, he's really weird. I don't want to train that guy. I'm not gonna do it. OP says, no, I don't date in the workplace, and I highly, highly recommend that you don't either. That's the fastest way to get on the department shit list if you start acting like the workplace is Tinder. Todd, hey, I get it. There ain't nothing wrong with being friendly, though. Oh boy, he hasn't gotten the message at all. Okay, you make your own mistakes. How about that? OP says, I stand up, lock my computer, and grab my training material. OP, okay. We're gonna go get you started on your computer work. I grab his arm to get him to move as he's only half paying attention to me, still looking at the girls walking by. I'm gonna set you up in the computer learning room down the hall so you can get this boring stuff out of the way first. I take him down the hall and get him set up on the computer so he can start doing the online training that's required for all new hires. Oh yes, bureaucracy at work. You clicked through all the pages. You've been properly trained now. I walk him through how to get his logins and spend at least an hour with him to make sure that he's up to speed on how the systems work. I start to get a little frustrated, as he seems to have a hard time remembering even simple tasks regarding how to navigate on the computer. Well, he's never been on a computer before. I refuse to believe that he's gotten to this point without ever being around a computer. By allowing him access to a work computer, we might have just opened the floodgates. This might be the end for humanity. We don't know. I understand that people can have a hard time with technology, and I'm more than happy to help, but this kid is around 19 years old, and he's acting like he's only been in front of a computer a handful of times. OP, are you doing all right? You seem distracted, and yeah, you're kind of struggling with this. Todd?
Sorry. I keep thinking back to all those pretty girls I saw out there, and it just makes me excited to get to know them better.
Ew, dude.
What the is wrong with you?
How about you fucking keep your dick out of your hand and get this out of the way first, alright? One step at a time. I don't know if this fella is actually trainable. We'd be better off with a circus chimp. OP says, well, okay. Stop thinking about them and focus on what I'm telling you, alright? Todd?
Okay, I'll try, but it's hard.
Ew.
Also, I'm hungry because I haven't eaten anything in like 2 hours. Can I get a snack?
2 hours? Boy, you ain't gonna starve. Get the fuck to work. OP says, I'll grab you a sandwich and a Coke from our break room. Any questions before I go and get it? Todd?
No, I'm just really hungry, so if you could be fast about getting it, then that would be awesome.
What a blatant asshole. It's just like, yeah, free food and chop chop. OP says, I start to feel myself get angry. I slowly take a few deep breaths and turn and walk out the door without saying anything. I go down our hall and make it to the department break room and grab a sandwich and a Coke for Todd. I grab myself some food and eat, wanting to make him wait longer for his precious food that he could very obviously go without. Yeah, I think we've gone too far already. I don't want to set any, false standards about this workplace, okay? You buy your own fucking sandwiches. Anyway, a few minutes go by, and Steve, one of my friends from the team, comes walking in. Now, he's about the same size as Todd, but instead of the fat that Todd has, Steve's built like a freaking tank. A good-natured Aussie who has a wicked sense of humor that is so inappropriate that he could make a lobster blush. He is truly the best of us. Steve?
Hey, I heard you're training the new guy.
OP? I really wish I wasn't training him. He smells like garlic, and he's more perverted than Mr. Herbert.
You kids like popsicles?
Everybody into my safety basement! Oh, don't eat those popsicles till I get down there!
Steve?
No fucking way. That's why the hall smells like garlic.
OP? Does it still smell out there? Because we've been in the computer room for the last 45 minutes. Steve?
That explains it.
He starts laughing.
I've walked up and down that hallway 4 times, and each time I go by, I smell garlic by that door.
Maybe we could just seal him in there or something, you know? We don't have to deal with it anymore. OP just says, fuck me. Steve?
If that's an offer, don't tempt me with a good time. I'd spit roast you, like we do in Australia.
Is he trying to say Austria? OP, I don't even know what to say to that. Steve?
Don't worry, you'll enjoy it. You won't be able to walk for a week, but it'll be worth it.
Well, thank you, Steve. You've just managed to make a bad day even worse with the threat of sexual violence. OP says, I don't know if I should be turned on or scared right now. And Steve winks and says,
a little bit of both.
None of this is appropriate for the workplace. That is sexual harassment.
And I don't have to take it.
Sexual harassment violates you, and it violates the law.
Speaking of PSAs, I just put up a video privately for members and patrons, which is some of the worst PSAs in existence. Brutal, disgusting, shocking content that can only be shown to members. So maybe go check it out if it's something that maybe interests you. Anyway, just then, one of our coworkers comes into the break room and tells me that my trainee is out in the hall talking to nurses as they try and take care of patients. Steve,
I want to meet him.
OP, no, you do not. Steven and I leave the break room and head back across the floor to find Todd hovering around a pretty blonde nurse who looks pretty pissed off. Todd,
I'm just saying we could get some dinner and get to know each other a little better.
Nurse, dude, no. Thanks for the offer, but like I said, my boyfriend wouldn't be cool with us hanging out, even as friends. Bro, this kid is a lawsuit waiting to happen. It's not gonna end well. Todd,
he doesn't need to worry about me doing anything. I'm a nice guy. I like being friendly, and I think it would be fun to get to know you.
OP, Todd, what are you doing? Why aren't you doing your computer training? Todd,
oh, I got distracted with Nurse here when she came into the room looking for something. We started talking, and then I came out here so she wouldn't be lonely.
Oh my god, dude. Can we fire him for cause on the first day? Is that an option? I can see from behind him the nurse peeking her head around and shaking it vigorously back and forth and making a cutting gesture across her neck while mouthing, "No!"
I can't carry on with that face. Look at it, I'm going to get nightmares with that face.
I internally groan, as I know there's a good chance of her complaining about him to management if I don't get him away from her fast. OP, okay, well, let's get back to it. The nurse is busy, and we can't have you distracting her while she's doing her job. Todd says, oh,
good point.
And then he turns back to her.
Well, think about it. Boyfriend or no boyfriend, I'll treat you nice and proper when we hang.
It's never going to happen. OP says, I don't think she wants to hang, Todd. I grab his arm again and pull him away. I say, dude, you have to be careful here. You don't want to rub the girls here the wrong way. They're trying to do a job and they don't want to be hit on by their coworkers. Todd,
I wasn't flirting. I was just trying to be nice and getting to know her. I'm a good guy, and I like to be friendly.
You're uncomfortably friendly. Everybody knows what this is. It's so thinly veiled. Come on. Come on, friend. Not friend. I hate this guy. OP says, okay, but right now we need to get back to work. I look around to see where Steve is, since he said he wanted to meet Todd. I don't see him anywhere and silently curse him under my breath. I bring Todd back to the computer room, which has, at this point, a very strong garlic smell, and I start helping him finish up the last of his computer training for the day. The door opens, and one of the other trainers on the team walks in and lets me know that they're going to take over for a little while, as I needed to finish up some of my other work before the end of the shift. I thank them for the break and walk out the door and take a deep breath of almost garlic-free air and consider just quitting my job right there on the spot. I mean, that would be a good way to go. But it's also capitulation, you know? It's sort of weak. I think you're strong enough to muscle Todd out of the way. You could do it.
I believe in you, OP.
Anyway, we'll stop at this point, as there are many more stories to go about Todd, and I don't want to make this one too terribly long. I'll try to update with the next part as soon as I can. I don't know how long it's going to be before somebody slaps Todd with a court order, but it's well on its way. That's what I know. How did you feel about the whole situation, Gubbins? Uncomfortable like the rest of us,
Big Todd think he nice guy, but no, he big lumpy spore. He not court pretty lady, he lurk like fungus in dark cave. He say, I am nice, but no nice. Nice man not make ladies run away. Nice man not leave white stain on shirt. Gubbins not even know what stain is, and Gubbins not wanna know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not asking questions about the white stain either. We sort of all know, but just confirmation's gonna break my faith in humanity even further. Although maybe that's the whole goal. So let's move on to the next part and we'll see how that goes. Sir Todd Part 2. Rose by any other name. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on Todd's emo hair for the rest of this thing, I guess. Thank you for everyone for your support and feedback from this story. I have many months worth of stories from our wonderful friend Todd. Some have brought up the question of how Todd was able to get the job, even with having poor hygiene. In short, the majority of the hiring process done by our company is done virtually, and there's very little in-person interaction prior to orientation and training. See, a little hitch in the system there, huh? Now, I can only assume whoever did the on-campus interview had lost all sense of smell, but somehow Todd passed the smell test initially. I also would like to mention that yes, I have been rude to Todd on many occasions, and I could easily be considered an a-hole for treating him the way that I have in the past, but personal hygiene is one of my pet peeves, and I struggle quite a bit when I work with others who don't take pride in their appearance or their personal well-being. Yeah, see, that second one's really important. Appearance I give a fuck about, but well-being it's all important. Like I said, don't you want to wash your hair? So it's a quality of life thing. Come on. With all that being said, I do not go out of my way to be mean to Todd, but simply put, I have a quick tongue and a gift for making colorful insults. When given the chance to let one loose, I usually take advantage of the opportunity. Enough about me being a dick, though, and let's continue on to our next story. As always, I do realize that my story could be categorized as a Neckbeard story, but I see it like a 50-50 toss-up, so I'll let the audience decide. I mean, he's not really into any nerd shit that would make him a neckbeard. The hygiene, I guess, does. But I'm feeling like he's leaning a little more nice guy. Anyway, as you take your seats on this fine evening, please select your finest prelude music as I set the stage and introduce the characters of our show. I do ask that you hold your applause, gasps, cries, and shouts of excitement until we've reached our end, as we wish for the characters to remain focused on their roles. We've got Steve, Calvin, JJ, Todd, and OP. You remember them, don't you? If not, review the first story. And then we've also got Rose, a very pretty redhead that worked in our department sometimes. She's known as a floater, meaning someone who's moved around the hospital helping out different units whenever they're short-staffed. Rose is very strong-willed and doesn't take crap from anybody. Rose stands approximately 5'7", with bright red hair down to her shoulders, and is about 105 pounds soaking wet. She has a wicked sense of humor, and could definitely give Conor McGregor a run for his money with how fast she could fire off insults. Well, good. I hope she gives Todd the dressing down that his mother never did. Anyway, that's it for the cast of the first episode, but there are several other characters that I will introduce you to that hopefully you'll either love or hate. We haven't heard much from Calvin or JJ, but I'm about 50-50 love and hate with Steve, you know? Just so you know how I'm feeling, just in case I fly off the handle about it. So Scene 2, Act 1. After Todd's first few hours and getting him settled down from all the excitement
of all those pretty girls that he saw,
he didn't really have any true noticeable incidents until about a week later. Sure, Todd smelled bad, and as I described before, he didn't ever wash his hair, and the layer of crusty white skin chips was steadily growing as each day went on. Bro, you don't even, like, brush your shoulders off? Change your shirt? What is it? What is happening? Todd would often make an awkward comment here and there throughout the day, but nothing so out of pocket, until he met one of the nurses who floated between the departments, helping out whenever and wherever we needed. The true nice guy came out of him near the beginning of the night on roughly his 5th or 6th shift. We were standing around talking as it had been a relatively quiet afternoon, and we were feeling a little relaxed. No one was dying, no fights were happening, and there was no homeless guy outside rubbing his junk on all the cars in the parking lot, which is a whole different story for a different day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we all know that guy. That's just Jerk Off Joe. That's why you gotta rub hot sauce on your car door handles before you go to work. JJ was telling us all about a new D&D campaign that he was running. Yeah, it's actually been great having a group I can rely on to get together every week. They've all been really into the pirate theme of the campaign, and when I say gotten into it, I mean like the most inappropriate, foul-mouthed pirates I ever could have imagined. Oh, you like pirate tabletop games, do you? Well, have you heard of Blood and Thunder? Written by our very own friend Ramtide? Oh yes, the low magic pirate RPG of your dreams. It's here! For the low, low price of whatever the hell you want. itch.io/Ramtide. Thanks so much. Calvin says, do you have any limitations on the game since, pirate themed? Like excluding certain species or classes to try and make it more authentic? See, Calvin likes authentic. JJ says, nah, not really. I love player freedom within reason. I have one guy who's playing as a swashbuckling warforged cleric whose whole purpose is to find enough gold to pay his deity's priestess to turn him into a real boy. He also thinks that by taking the skin from his fallen enemies and stapling it to his mechanical form, he will please his deity and speed up the process. That's pretty fucking unhinged, but it sounds like a lot of fun. We all end up laughing at the horrifying idea of having a sword-wielding robot come raiding your ship or town with bits of human skin dangling off of him, yelling, I am a real boy! I am a real boy! Terrifying. The stuff of nightmares. Steve?
Oh, holy shit, that's gonna haunt my dreams tonight!
OP, I think I just figured out what my next character is going to be. Todd?
I don't get what's so funny about that. Why would a warforged have a deity? Why would he be a pirate? You should have shot that down. It's a stupid idea.
Okay, here some of Todd's neckbeardism is coming out. He's keeping up in a conversation about nerd shit. And while maybe it's possible he has a point, my counterpoint is, fuck you, my game. JJ tells him, dude, it's just a game. I don't care about things too serious, and yeah, it's a freaking awesome character. Honestly, his whole backstory's given me so much content to work with. Todd?
Dude, I don't know if you're new or just lazy, but that is terrible GMing. No one wants that stupid robot in their game.
I'd invite him to the game. Steve?
Will you fuck off? It's not your game and not your character. No one cares that your daddy didn't love you enough to come back with the milk.
You just got roasted!
Just savagery. Also very true, but very savage. Love to see it. Todd opens his mouth to say something back. Steve?
Let me stop you right there.
He holds up his massive Australian kangaroo-crushing hand.
No one asked. No one cares. No one ever will.
Alright, I'm coming around on Steve, okay?
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Now, if you want to know what a kicked puppy looks like, that probably would be the best way to describe the look that came over Todd's face. His shoulders slumped, and He looked absolutely defeated. Well, that's good. That's awesome. He's done. He's cooked. Quit. Find a new job. Put the fries in the bag. You're capable of that, ain't ya? Todd.
You can't say that to me. That's not appropriate.
OP. Dude, you started it. You went after JJ's game and his friends. Just don't be a dick and we won't be a dick back. You know, just chill and be happy. Well, to be fair, OP, it does seem like a bit of an escalation, you know? He's ripping on, like, the D&D games that you have, and you're ripping on the fact that his daddy left him. One is significantly more personal, although I do agree with the tagline of just fucking chill and be happy. Is that so hard? Apparently it is. Todd huffs, glares at us, and storms off down the hall around the corner. Calvin, walking down the hall, past Todd towards us. Why does Discount Rocky Balboa look like he's gonna cry? OP. Steve said mean things to him. Steve.
I told the truth! He can go angry masturbate for all I care.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing people do? Have you done that before, Steve?
Internet check. Let's go. Aw.
Tell me no more. The group starts laughing again, but are interrupted as we get a call for a trauma coming in by helicopter. And with that call, for the next couple of hours, we were busier than we had been all day, running around making sure that this high priority patient is taken care of. Everything finally winds down, and then we get back to our regular work. OP finally sitting down after having to actually work for money. I am so tired. Can I go home? JJ, you could go home if you give me a little kiss and some snuggles.
I don't know, man. Seems kinda gay to me.
It's a very homoerotic workplace dynamic that you have going on here, you know? Couldn't be me. OP says, don't tempt me with a good time. I'll hop right over there and mount you if that means I can leave in less than 10 minutes. JJ, Wildly Ted, I just need 5. From around the corner comes Rose, one of the floater nurses. Rose is a fiery redhead with a wickedly dark sense of humor and no filter to block out the intrusive thoughts that she has. Rose, that's why you're single, JJ. Put in the full 10 and you might actually satisfy a girl well enough for her to stick around. OP, damn, JJ, you want me to get water for that burn? JJ, hey, I don't need a girl when I've got you bending over like that every time you see me. Rose, oh, JJ, that was so... Just as she was in the middle of her sentence, we smelled that familiar, flavorful scent of slightly rotten garlic wafting down the hall. Rose, what the hell? Looks at me. Are you just shoving whole garlics into your ass now? OP, you don't blame that on me, that's Todd. That's right, you don't put that evil on me.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you put that on us!
Before Rose can ask who I'm talking about, Todd comes around the corner, huffing and puffing like he just ran a mile, a bright sheen of sweat glistening on his forehead, and I can see 2 dark stains around his armpits. The smell of garlic is overwhelming. JJ, what happened to you? Todd,
the elevator was broke, so I had to take the stairs up to the cafeteria.
OP, dude, it's just 2 flights of stairs. How are you sweating so much? Todd says,
I forgot my wallet and I had to go back down and get it. And then when I got to the top of the stairs, my phone fell out of my pocket and bounced all the way to the bottom. So I had to go down and come back up again. I had to do that like 3 times.
Bro, don't nobody believe that shit. Just keep your answers short, terse, direct. Fat man problems, that's why. Like, you know the answer deep down in your heart. So does everybody else, so just lean in. Anyway, just then, Todd's muddy brown eyes made their way to Rose. I watched as he obviously eyed her up and down a few times and then let out an audible, "Oh, mama," under his breath. Gross. Todd stuck out his sweaty hand, offering it to Rose. Todd,
my friends call me Todd, but you can call me any time.
He did his best attempt at a sly smile, pleased at what he thought was the smoothest pickup line ever created.
It's awful. It's awful!
It's about on the same level as, like, yeah, call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner. It's terrible. Now, granted, it really wasn't the worst pickup line that we've ever heard, but it lost all of its charm when you drenched it in sweat and had it smelling like fermented garlic knots. I watched as Rose looked at his hand, pulled out a blue latex glove, and put it on before shaking it. Todd grinned and held onto her hand for a little too long. Todd,
what's your name, my fair lady?
I swear, if he had a fedora on at that point, he absolutely would have tipped it. I mean, it was absolutely tipped in spirit, I'll tell you that. Rose says, taken, and Rose pulls her hand away and carefully pulled off the now contaminated sweat glove, throwing it into a nearby trash can. Todd,
taken? You're gonna be that rude and not tell me your name?
Rose, not when you call me fair lady. Besides, OP over there is my boy toy. We are not together, and I have no idea why she said my name. Because throwing coworkers under the bus is fun. Todd's eyes dart over to me, his face a look of what I can only describe as a mix of disgust and rage.
Yeah, I see. Well, if you give me the chance, I could show you that I'm a pretty nice guy.
He smiles again, putting on his best friendly grin.
I know I don't know you, but I'm excited for the chance to show you that I'm worth it.
Yeah, I don't think any of that's true. And the friendly grin probably looks more predatory than anything. Rose takes a step back and says, yeah, I'm gonna go. And with that, she turns around and walks down the hall. Smart lady, gotta get the fuck out of here. Todd turns to me.
How did someone like you get that gorgeous specimen? You're an asshole.
OP, she just likes me because I'm autistic. Todd takes a deep breath.
You don't deserve her.
OP, probably. She knows what she wants, though, and it's clearly me for whatever reason. And I wink at him. Todd,
whatever. She needs a real man, a nice guy, someone who can protect her, someone like
JJ helpfully suggests, a knight?
Todd says, yes, I will be her white knight, and I will save her from you. She'll see that she deserves a real man like me, that'll treat her right, and give her the kids that she deserves.
Wow, we jumped to the kid thing really fast, didn't we?
That escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Okay, well, good luck with all that there, JJ. You'll be her knight in shining denim. Todd looks at JJ.
That's better than your stupid pirate robot.
And with that, he turns and walks off again. Oh yeah, dude, Todd only has the sickest burns. Your pirate robot is stupid. I told him. I definitely won that one. I'll stop this part for now. It's getting a little long, and I don't want to spoil the next part for you guys. Once again, thanks for all the support you've given so far. Once again, I will try to upload the next part within a day or two. As of yet, that third part has not come, but again, I do think that this was fairly competently written, and it is interesting. I love seeing some coworker interactions. So yeah, come on back anytime. You can DM me if you post a thing, and you know, I'll put eyes on it a little bit quicker. I still think Todd leans more nice guy than Neckbeard, but the comments can debate that one out, I'm sure. And of course, as always, I'd like to know what Gubbins thinks, because yeah, Gubbins does consider these things now. We've got 2 points of view, so go ahead, tell the people how all that made you feel, would you?
Why Tug think sweaty body and smelly shirt make good mate call? No lady want touch damn garlic man. No lady want white stained shirt night. He say fair lady, but she run away. Maybe if he wash, maybe if he clean, maybe if he not look like cheese left in sun. Host, gubbins have plan. We send soap squad. We deploy shampoo strike. We dump bucket of clean on Todd. No more garlic cloud. No more stink. No more white stain mystery. Gubbins will save hospital from biohazard.
Oh, yeah. I really like this little thing. Yeah, we're gonna dump an entire bucket of clean on him. No more white shirt mystery. White stain mystery. What the hell? What the hell did you just say? Oh, cracks me up, dude. I love it.
Do you think you'd ever be straight if you found the right guy?
Why does everything have to be so complicated?
If you want something bad, you have to fight for it. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
Stopey says, I think my friend might be turning into a nice guy. Should I say something? Probably, yes, if you value that friend. Only if you value that friend. It will be a confrontation. Stopey says, hey all, I, 27 female, have this friend. Let's call him Steven, who is 30. Steven has always had a more out there sense of humor, relatable. But anytime I or one of our friends has said that we were uncomfortable with a joke, he has stopped saying it if we communicated that. See, that seems fine to me so far. As the only girl in a friend group of guys who game, we, myself included, will make stereotypically sexist jokes, mostly to mock people who say that stuff wholeheartedly. I'd never felt disrespected by any of them and knew that I could always say, hey, that's the line in the sand for me, about basically anything. Well, they seem like a decent group of boys. Everybody needs some gaming buddies. However, over the past few years, I've noticed a bit of a change in Steven. First, it was a casual relationship he had that didn't pan out, where he turned from calling this girl the most amazing person he'd ever met into talking about how fake she was for leading him on and saying some of those women these days type of comments. He would also make comments about how women on social media have it so easy because they could just show off their bodies and get likes easily. I am a woman on social media with somewhat of a following, but he always followed it up with, but you're not like that, OP. Obviously. Yes, clearly. I painted the whole fence except for that single post. I say if you want to really feel that way, then, just drop it out there. No caveats, no nothing. I'm not even going to bother reassuring you that you're not like that, because deep down in your heart, you know you're not like that, don't you? So you don't need me to say so. And once you attain that level of self-respect for yourself, it'll be really easy to walk away from Steven. There's lots of dudes that game, okay?
So yeah, I'm a gamer. I like video games.
Anyway, recently, some of the comments have started making me uncomfortable. They're not about me, but women in general. He's frequently expressed disappointment with dating and dating apps, but also is very critical of the women on them, saying that he only matches with land whales, and describes not wanting to date a mother as it would be playing on somebody else's save file. That is about the most no-life type of way to put it. I don't think you'd make a decent father, Steven. Yes, please, stay away from the single mothers, okay? You would make a terrible stepfather because you also make a terrible person. OP says, I never know what to say to all of this because we've been friends for a long while now and already have had a bit of a falling out years ago over a funny video I posted of us where he said I used him to get likes and it was only because I was a woman. I forgave him for that, but it did stick with me, especially with the most recent comments. I understand being bitter, but I don't think the way he's expressing it is good at all. To some extent, I feel like it's almost my responsibility as a friend to tell him that he might want to chill, but I have no idea how to go about doing that without sounding judgmental or making him feel attacked or upset. Like I said, that's part of the confrontation. He is going to feel attacked or upset, but if he's a brainy boy, he'll realize that you're saying these things for his own betterment, Or more realistically, since he's not a brainy boy, his ego will get in the way and the friendship will fall apart forever. Which is good, you know, the less wasted time. We'll find somebody to fill in the gap. Anyway, OP asks, should I leave it be and maybe say, hey, that's not great? Next time he makes a comment like that, say something one-on-one or just keep doing what I'm doing and keeping my mouth shut. Yeah, well, keeping your mouth shut doesn't really seem to be working, does it? I'm not sure that one-on-one is necessarily the way to go either. Like, a nice group shaming seems to have a decent effect most of the time. As long as the other dudes that you game with are on board, they're not secretly harboring Steven feelings. But yeah, truth of the matter is I don't think Steven understands the difference between men and women. Like, yes, women do have they could get likes on apps if that means something in the real world, which really it doesn't. Maybe you can monetize your own beauty for a time. But being a man also has its advantage, especially if you like loneliness and solitude.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm lonely, I stick my d in baloney.
I build myself up in quiet. I focus on nobody except for me and my own betterment, and I think maybe Steven could take a page from that book, you know? Stop focusing on how many likes your gamer girl friend gets, and yeah, just if that's something you want, then fucking push towards it, you know? Record some of your gameplay, offer some commentary, I don't know. Let's Play as a format is basically completely dead, but I'm sure you have something interesting in your head to share with the world, Steven, so dig it out and make it happen, and stop blaming other people for your problems. See, now you don't even have to confront him, you just share this video with him. You're welcome, OP! We're gonna move on to our next post. This OP says, nice guy finds out I'm a gamer girl, proceeds to cyberstalk me. Oh yeah, well, I got sort of same vibes, okay.
There's a gamer girl in my lobby.
Stop.
Should I tell her how I feel about her?
Please don't. No. Please don't.
OP says, I'm not sure if this belongs in this sub or not, but I keep seeing stories like this on TikTok, so I thought I'd share my own for people to enjoy. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I need to get back on TikTok. I think people are still following me over there. Sometimes I get a notification. I'm like, whoa! I thought I deleted this Chinese spyware off my phone. Where'd that come from? OP says, this is an old story, so I am safe, if anyone is wondering. Also, apologies if this is long. I'll put a TLDR at the end. A while ago, I met this guy on PlayStation 4. He and I used to play GTA together, and we had been friends for a few months. For obvious reasons, I never put any of my personal information on my profile. We called each other by our gamer tags, and never had any issues with our friendship. Yeah, keep it in game. That's what this is about, right? You want to do some heists and shit? He's like, no, OP, I'm trying to heist your heart. Then one day, while we were gaming, my mom walked in and called me by my real name while my mic was on. Oh, thanks, fucking docs, Mom. My name is very obviously feminine, so he immediately was like, wait, you're a girl? And I was like, yeah, you didn't know that? And apparently he assumed that my higher-pitched voice was just because I was like a 14-year-old boy or something. I explained that I was a grown woman, the same age as him, and he responded, but I thought you said you had a girlfriend! And I explained, yeah, because I'm a lesbian. I thought after that he wouldn't bring it up again. I was wrong. Yeah, that doesn't usually fix it. This just leads to him proclaiming all the benefits of his magic dong. After he found out I was a girl, and a lesbian one at that, he started treating me differently. Yeah, that's when the friendship ends. He would not stop talking about inappropriate questions like, how do lesbians even do it? And would you ever consider doing it with a guy? And do you think you'd ever be straight if you found the right guy?
Why does everything have to be so complicated?
If you want something bad, you have to fight for it. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
Very transparent, very disgusting. I'm sad the friendship has to end this way, but it has to end. I can't keep up this charade. I kept telling him that his questions were making me uncomfortable and to stop so we could just play the game. He would stop for a little bit and then, well, he'd start right back up again. He also kept calling me by my real name when we were in group calls, despite me repeatedly telling him to stop because I didn't like other people knowing my real name. He kept arguing that he was special and different than other guys, and that he was allowed to use it because we're close like that. I had to repeatedly tell him not to call me that. Dude, after like the first warning, I'm out.
I'm f***ing done with your bullshit game. I'm done. This is bullshit.
We're not actually close like that. I don't give a fuck about you. You're somebody I play Grand Theft Auto with. That's it. Eventually, his questions turned into just straight up flirting with me, and he would say things like, I bet I can make you straight if you gave me one night. You're probably only gay because you haven't got any good dick yet.
Or is a fine-looking pink.
Yeah.
Oh, looks good, huh?
See what I say? It's just, you can mark all the things off on the bingo card. It's so rote and formulaic at this point. There's interesting little twists here and there, but most of the time I know it beat for beat. The final straw for me was when he asked me if your family was held at gunpoint and the man told you that he was going to end them all unless you did it with them. Would you bang a dude then? There's an unhinged scenario you've just come up with. I snapped at him and said that was definitely not okay. I said that was an awfully specific scenario and asked if I should be concerned about what he was planning. He said it was just a joke and tried to backpedal and say that he was just messing with me. Yeah, well, I don't really like to be fucked with in that certain type of way, so we're just gonna not be friends anymore. I'm gonna block you on everything. It is far past that time at this point. After that, I told him he was disgusting and blocked him. Hey, there you go, OP. But he didn't like that and started making account after account to harass me. I would block him, he would disappear for a few months, and then he'd pop back up with a new account messaging me asking, are you still gay? Yes, I'm gayer than ever, as a matter of fact. The last I heard of him was a new account that messaged me. I added it back since I thought it was my friend, but I quickly realized it was him when he started messaging me. He messaged me saying, I've come back to take what's mine, and I want it my way. Well, this ain't Burger King, bitch. There's some wackos on the internet, man. You really don't know who you're interacting with. And I don't want to come out and say it, but I do think that GTA Online attracts the lowest common denominator. Do I play it? Yeah, sometimes. But the 3 or 4 people I've actually interacted with that I met through the game, I don't want to interact with them any more than I have to. I messaged back this time since I was genuinely creeped out and angry, and I said, I was never yours, and I'm not going to be yours. I like women. Why can't you get that through your thick skull? Women greater than you. And even if I did like men, I wouldn't touch you with a 20-foot pole. The next time you add me on one of your burners, I'm reporting you to the police. He, of course, started in with insulting me, calling me the F-slur, and spamming me with male-on-male adult videos, which, that doesn't even make any sense. He just had those on his hard drive. You know the reason why.
There's so much There are literally thousands of files here.
Like, I got this 50 gigs of male-on-male action in order to troll people. It's like, dude, I don't know. 50 gigs is a lot. At a certain point, I think you're sort of keeping this for you, aren't you? Anyway, LP says I reported him and blocked him. After that, I didn't hear from him again. I'm guessing the threat of the police finally scared him and he found some other girl to harass. I hope it's the first one, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the second one, but you did the best you could do. You know, you can't save other people. Save yourself first. You should always affix your oxygen mask before helping children or people around you. And for anyone wondering, he never had my address or any personal info aside from my real first name. He didn't even know what state I lived in. So I didn't feel as though I was in any immediate danger. Given that this happened years ago, I'm guessing that nothing will happen at this point. Yeah, nothing ever happens. It's fine. TLDR, guy who used to be my gamer friend turned into a creepy cyber stalker after finding out that I was a lesbian girl. Harassed me on several different accounts until I told him off and threatened to call the police. Never heard from him again after that. Well, sometimes the trash takes itself out, you know? You should have threatened him with the police a lot earlier. Got this paper trail started, you know? But oh well, as long as you escaped, I guess that's the best that we can ask. The big lesson that I learned here today was don't play Grand Theft Auto Online. When they come out with GTA 6, and it's going to cost over $100, don't buy it. I think you can just circumvent all of this bullshit. And also, yeah, it'll save you $100, which is really nice. Anyway, we're going to move on to another story now. Hope you guys are vibing. If you are, check us out on podcast services, you know, Spotify, iTunes, we're basically everywhere. All right, let's get into story number 3. Nice guy hits on my girl and my ex. Damn, bro, he's getting at everybody around you. You gotta start playing some fucking defense or something. OP says, I have a funny but also twisted story to share with you. Smiley face. A few years back, this guy started to advance on my then girlfriend at college. It was very obvious that he wanted more than friendship, at least obvious to me, lol. He made her gifts, constantly texted with her, etc. She was not very open about it, but eventually I heard through a good friend of mine that he confessed to her and that he talked about all his feelings with the whole college and, yeah, basically everybody knows. Apparently she declined, but it was not a good sign that she didn't tell me herself. Honestly, OP, good for you. You need to get out and start running real fast. OP says, we had a lot of our own problems in the relationship, and eventually we broke up because of other reasons. Yeah, that sounds fine to me. You probably saved yourself years of heartache. So fast forward a year or so, and I made new friends with a group at college, where this guy was also a part of, and I thought to myself, I'm over it. What could go wrong? And we managed to make the group work, even though he kept making inappropriate comments about my ex. Anyway, in that group, I met my now girlfriend, and she is the kindest, sweetest, most beautiful human that I ever met. Honestly, best thing that ever happened to me. Okay, this time maybe you're gonna fight for her honor, right? Because you actually like her? Or are you just gonna let this guy fucking creep around and keep your mouth shut?
You can't keep getting away with it!
'Cause that's not what men do. If he starts saying something untoward at your girlfriend, you put your hand up and you say, hey buddy, we're not gonna do whatever the fuck that is. And that usually is enough to end it. That's what I said verbatim to some dude that was trying to get grabby with my sister at the club when I was in the US. He buckled like a belt. Most people do. Don't fucking let yourself get played around, OP, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this guy is also best friends with girlfriend, and I was suspicious, but kept myself out of it because I trust her, and she didn't have a lot of friends at that time. He started acting distant and withdrew from their friendship, which made my girlfriend worry. She confronted him, and well, he made advances towards her too. Lol. Is that a lol for you? That's more like I feel fire in my belly. I'm going to go to his house and knock on his door with a ReddX Industries brand lead pipe. Come on out, you goofy little goober. I just want to fucking talk to you. He told her that he's always had a crush on her, and that I'm a jerk who stole 2 girls from him now. Yeah, you know what the difference probably is that OP just asks the girls out. He likes them, and then he talks to them and asks them out. This guy just like beta orbits in the hopes that someday somebody will pay attention to him, and it never happens.
You beta orbiter male. You make me feel stronger and smarter because you're here.
You're not attractive or significant enough for it to happen spontaneously, so you gotta make some noise, alright? That's my tip for you. He broke off the friendship with her instantly and hurt her feelings pretty bad. Also talked bad about me and our friend group. Yeah, who gives a shit? Say what you want to say. After that, I had enough and confronted him in the cafeteria. Oh, here we go. Punch him right in his shit. Put the boots to him, son. I told him that he should be embarrassed and that I'm ashamed of the way he acted and how he talked about my friends. He looked at me like I was a ghost. A couple hours later, I was still quite shaken up by it. I generally don't confront people like that. Well, sounds like you need to fucking start. And that's not a bad first experience either. You scared the boy. Like I said, they always buckle. Sometimes you get punched in the mouth, but I don't know. That's like 1 time out of 100. Roll the dice. You're good. Anyway, OP says, well, the dude called my girlfriend and talked to her quite normally and wanted to share feelings which made her quite uncomfortable. Then he called me. And man, this guy did not stop whining about how I could dare speak to him in that way, and that he didn't do anything wrong. At first, I tried to explain to him why his actions were, not so nice, but eventually, after he wouldn't hear it and kept whining, I lost it. I told him to fuck off, and that he should be glad I didn't smack him. Yeah, there you go. OP's finding his nuts. You love to see it.
That's why I love these nuts.
After that, everything was fine until recently, a couple months later, this guy starts talking to her again, even though he said that they shouldn't even say hi to each other anymore, which makes her incredibly uncomfortable, and continues to talk to people about his feelings and how hurt he is and how I was the only one that fucked up by speaking to him. Oof. Now my girlfriend just wants to tell him to go screw. God bless her, but I can't help but feel bad for the guy. He clearly has some issues, or maybe he's just a jerk. Anyway, feel free to share your thoughts, and if you encountered people like that too, tell me how you dealt with them. Thanks. I told you the way that I deal with it. I nip it right in the fucking bud. I'm not gonna let it get past the first sentence. Seems a little off to me, and I'm like, what the fuck's that about? The truth is, he's just a cowardly little worm boy. He wants to talk around behind people's back and stuff like this, but then you confront him and he's like, duh, I don't know what to say. Well, good. Keep your fucking mouth shut then. I bet if you did punch him, he'd never come near that girl again. You should try it out. Not that I endorse physical violence or anything like that, but it is really effective sometimes.
Look, violence is never the answer.
It's the solution.
This could happen for the rest of your life. Every girlfriend that you get, he's trying to worm his way in. We could either put up with that for the next 20 years or just knock him on the chin real good. It's your choice, you know? Choose your own adventure, but I know what I'd do. Definitely don't show any sympathy for him, whatever you do. That's how worms like this subsist. He's only gotten through life because of other people's sympathy. It's time to cut that shit out. Welcome to adulthood. Nobody cares about you, and me least of all. Good luck with it, OP. That's all I gotta say. We'll move on into another story now. This one called The Worst Hinge Date I've Ever Been On. Online dating just doesn't seem like the way to go. I understand it's convenient and shit like that, but it's rife with failure. Destined to collapse. I've never seen anything good truly come out of online dating. And then people are like, oh, well, we got married and stuff like that. Like, yeah, but you're against the odds at a certain point. The girls on that app that want to get married, you better hope you find them in the first week. They're going to get snatched right off there. Anyway, whatever. OP says, disclaimer, sorry if this is long-winded. I'm not great with explaining things via texts. Me either, but don't worry about it. Honestly, I don't know if this even counts as a nice guy, but I just want to share my story of the most uncomfortable date ever. So we met on Hinge, which in my opinion is a lot better than Tinder if you're actually looking to date someone. That's fair. I think Tinder's like mostly for hookups, right? Personal opinion here, but yeah, fucking gross. You won't catch me on that. He was nice on text and didn't give me any hints of how the date would actually go. I will admit that some of his texts were pure cringe, and some of the things he would say were moving too fast for me, seeing as though we hadn't even met yet. And yet you still decided to go. That's interesting. I guess you didn't want to ghost him, you know, just being nice, see how it goes. Maybe it's better in person. It's never better in person. So come round to the first time that we were meant to meet. And my cat died on that day, so obviously I wasn't going to go. I tell him, and he's completely understanding of the situation, and we rearrange. Okay, bare minimum, but I was like, oh, he is really nice. Anyway, fast forward to a week later, and we finally meet up. We meet at a bar, and it's going okay. Conversation's going smooth. He even brought trinkets to look at, which I love myself a cool trinket, shrug emoji. Now this is where it starts to get uncomfortable. Before we get into the uncomfortable part, can I ask about the trinkets? What is that?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the is that?
They had this street in Thailand of trinkets. We bought a trinket for money and a trinket to remove obstacles. We've kept them in the house even to this day. And I believe in them wholeheartedly because like maybe a month or two after we came back from Thailand, the YouTube channel started to take off. I was able to quit my copywriting job. I wish I could knock OP for liking trinkets, but I tend to like a good trinket myself. Something tells me though these are not trinkets from Thailand. There's no backstory to these trinkets. It's some plastic crap that you bought, isn't it? I'm in the market for something fucking mystical and magical, and you brought me a plastic Charizard.
We'll always be special friends.
Anyway, tell me about the uncomfortable part, OP. She says, we sat across from each other, like you would do, but he started asking me to move next to him. I said, no, I'm okay over here, and moved on from it, but he did not let up at all. You realize you can just end this date right now? You brought your own car, right? Like, you know what? Already the vibe is off. It's not working out. Like, you met at a bar and things were going okay. Well, guess what? My standard is higher than okay. I'm not going to marry somebody that I just think is okay. And that is the reason that I would date somebody. So, I don't know. Maybe OP has different priorities. But I do ask you to look inside yourself and really question if okay is okay enough. Anyway, OP says he couldn't take my no as an answer, so I had to just end up moving to sit next to him so he would stop, because he would not stop pulling a face that I would say was like puppy dog eyes, and it was just making me cringe so bad. And just leave. Well, why are you forced to sit next to him? Say, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom and crawl out a fucking window, you know? Desperate times call for desperate measures. OP says, mind you, this man was 31 years old and I was like 23, nearly 24 at the time. He then proceeded to grab my leg and put it over his, to which I was like, This is the reason he wanted you to sit next to him, you see. I kept pulling it off of his leg, but he again just kept putting it back on and acting offended if I took my own fucking leg away. Honestly, I know what you might be thinking. Why didn't you just leave at this point? And I really wish that I had. Well, you know what they say, hindsight's 20/20. Just don't let that shit happen again. Hope he says my dumbass then agrees to go on this Ferris wheel with him. He's also been constantly whispering in my ear about how
he wants to kiss me passionately.
I genuinely feel so gross just typing this up, Lamau. I don't know how this has gone to like a 3-stage date if you're having that miserable of a time. The bar was okay. Like I said, okay is not good enough. I'm gone already. The restaurant, you force me against my will to sit next to you, and then you commandeer my leg. That's strike 2 at the very least. I guess the Ferris wheel is strike 3. We really gotta wait until we're up in the air in a little fucking metal bucket. Completely at the mercy of this weirdo and some carny. I tip him an extra couple bucks and say, don't you dare fucking stop this thing at the top. I want this ride to be over as fast as possible. Anyway, OP says we end up on the Ferris wheel, and he ends up unzipping my coat when I told him, no, I'm cold, please stop. And then he brushed his hand over my breast, and that's where I drew the line and told him, no, that's way too far. The way he would just constantly apologize, but keep doing these things when I would tell him no multiple times is just fucking crazy. See, another little worm boy sliding through life on other people's sympathy. I don't even know how we ended up on the Ferris wheel, if I'm honest. It's a bad situation to put yourself in. I hope you realize at that point, and next time we would make different choices. But yeah, if he keeps apologizing and then call him out on it. Say your apology means fucking nothing to me because I told you this 30 minutes ago, and you continue to do it. Now I'm going home before I'm forcibly undressed from my jacket again. Weird. Anyway, at the end of the day, I was mentally exhausted and extremely uncomfortable, and I wanted to go home.
I wanna go home. I wanna go home.
Yes, let's lay down and have a nap. A big, big sleep. He takes me to the train station and is hinting for me to stay over at his. Obviously, I say no. He then proceeds to tell me that
he was gonna send me a dong pic when he got home.
And I was actually mortified that he thought that that was okay to say. I tell him that I don't appreciate unsolicited pics, so do not do it. I get home, and the next day I blocked and removed him from Instagram. Didn't give him an explanation because I genuinely just didn't want to talk to him. Yeah, he knows why. It's not ghosting if he knows why. There was other stuff throughout the date that was just really weird. The way he just wouldn't stop touching me. I got overstimulated so that I had to take myself to the bathroom to calm down. I wish I had left, but I think I felt stuck and worried. I mean, a little bit. If you don't have your own car, that complicates things. He's got to give you a ride to the train station and shit like this. But again, I guess we chalk it up to lessons learned, you know? Truth be told, I don't give a fuck if I gotta walk to the bus stop. I'm getting out of here one way or the other. Like, it's always within your control to grab the reins of your own life, but I understand sometimes it's difficult. Social contracts and that. But he's broken the social contract multiple times. Maybe not at the bar with the okay conversation, but like forcing you to sit next to him and grabbing your leg and shit like that. No. You're getting way too fucking comfortable there, Buster. Call him Buster, then he knows that you mean business. Opie says, I would like to point out that he was fully acting like we were already in a long-term relationship, and he was saying how
he wanted me to move into his house in 6 months' time,
and that I wouldn't need to work, and he'd pay for everything, and also the fact that he hadn't been in a relationship for 7 years, and claimed that every girl he went on a date with was
too much,
literally blaming the girls for his shitty behavior. Genuinely crazy stuff. I mean, even the fact that you're talking about other girls while you're on a date with somebody who is not those other girls, that's a bad play right there.
What do we do when we see a red flag? Right, we stop!
Right out of the gate, you're falling flat on your fucking face. I guess I shouldn't give this guy any tips, you know? He's not gonna use his powers for good. That is what I know for sure. Gosh, online dating just really is so fucking bleak, isn't it? Are you able to offer us any sort of hope regarding all of these tales, young gubbins?
You lived, you learned, you leveled up in spotting red flags. Next boss fight, you be ready. Gubbins.
I did say that. Now, you know, hindsight's 20/20, and we won't get caught up next time, you know? We know what to look for next time. That's really the best you could do with a situation like this. I'm sorry you had to experience it, but it's all part of living, learning, growing. All right, we'll do one more post so we can get 5 in here. That's a nice round number. So this post is called 3 years and ongoing of being stalked and harassed by this nice guy. God, 3 years, that's a hell of a thing. Opie says the title sums it up pretty well. Quick backstory, this guy had been asking out my spouse since high school, so about 15-ish years ago, my 32 female spouse, 31 non-binary, has told him multiple times that they were not interested. 3 years ago, in a desperate attempt to finally shake him off and prove that I was real and this wasn't a girlfriend that lives in Canada situation, we met him for dinner at a sushi place. It looked like he took the hint, until we received a text where he said,
I think it's time I admit my intentions. If you think we could ever have a chance at being a throuple, let me know.
How did I know that that was going to be his next move? He's like, I got a date with 2 people at the same time. No, these 2 people are sitting here trying to tell you to go screw, and you're not getting the message. OP says, I don't know how to link a screenshot, but that is a word-for-word quote. My spouse rightfully called him out on this, told him how disrespectful he was by lying to them about moving on, how he blatantly ignored boundaries, and I need you to put this fantasy away for good. Yeah, I don't think he's going to. Not until you buy a gun. That's my solution to this.
I hope you bulletproof for this about to hurt.
Because my spouse is honestly too kind of a human. I love this about them. They always try to see the good in everyone, even nice guys. They did allow him back into our life after he promised that he had moved on. We would soon find out that was a lie. Yeah, there's something of a pattern here. He told us,
it's just so hard just being friends with you guys.
And we kicked him out and told him off. At first, it was a break until we could finally talk civilly, but his persistence to keep trying to talk to us, despite us clearly stating multiple times to not talk to us until we were ready, ended in us blocking him across the internet. A really good way to go. I love that. Easy, convenient, no fuss, no muss. From then on, he continually made new accounts over and over to reach out to us. We never responded and kept on blocking. We thought the hint was the size of the sun. The messages switched abruptly between love bombing and petty insults. He even threatened to force himself upon my spouse and I.
It's a good thing you two didn't drink wine with me because you'd make terrible mothers.
What the fuck does that? It doesn't even make sense. We reported this behavior to the local police department several times. He even got a second number to text me December 2023 because I had his original number blocked in my phone. I've since changed my number again. He said I needed to grow up and get over it. Just drop it and forgive. I might forgive. I never forget. I'll let it go just because I don't want you living rent-free in my head, but I also never want you to darken my doorway again. I really appreciate it. Opie says, I'd like to remind you, Reddit, that I have not said a word to him since June 2022 and just wordlessly blocked him on sight. This text also said, stop ghosting good people. Yeah, because good people harass others for years, right? Well, you see, this is the only way that he can get through his life. He has to lie and keep his ego inflated. He is the hero of this story, the main character, if you will. And you guys are just evil villains for not wanting him, for not seeing the greatness that he has to offer. It's all sarcasm, of course. I'm pretty sure he's only going to make everything worse for everybody involved. So this is good. Keep swerving him, as far as I'm concerned, as much as possible. OP says, now 3 years later, he is so upset. He's actively pretending to be me on Twitter, posting about how psycho my spouse is, and that he's really just a good guy. He's made posts about how I am planning to divorce my psycho bitch spouse, and that I'm some MAGA lover. He's trying to trash my name and ruin my online reputation in true textbook nice guy toddler level behavior. This is still ongoing as of this posting. He still thinks he's such a good guy and the true victim here due to being ghosted. Yeah, he's just going to keep telling himself that over and over. And really going back and trying to explain the situation is not going to fix it. So let him spin his wheels as far as I'm concerned. I don't need to spend any more energy on this. You're already getting more from me than you deserve as I work to avoid you. Hopefully a decade in, he'll finally get the message. Or we start the paper trail and call the cops and, restraining order and such. Because, yeah, after 3 years, I'd highly suggest starting a paper trail. This might not stop. Or buying a gun. That'll stop it for sure.
I have a device that will solve all of our problems.
Anyway, good posts all, I think.
His dad was likely on the way home from work and would be home any minute.
And I believed him, naively. He asked me to go hang out in the basement.
I am not going up there.
I'm not going out there.
I'm definitely... Oh.
Sorry, bro.
I gave the blind date nice guy a chance and regretted it. I mean, blind dates, it's never going to be good. You want to know, don't you?
He sounds nice.
I am nice.
Well, he's not nice.
Small content warning, some mentions of subpar intimacy and nipple pinching. You're into it? You aren't? I'm gonna assume you aren't. This happened back in 2018. I, 26-year-old black woman, met this nice guy via a blind date with a mutual acquaintance. The acquaintance I lightly called my friend at the time sent me a message about the guy that she thought was perfect for me, that she met on Plenty of Fish. We'll call him Devin. She sent me a screenshot of his picture and a message about how he responded to a pic that she shared of me. His response was, "Shh, whoa, beautiful, I feel like she might reject me." I felt a little bad for him and told her to set us up on the date. Hell yeah, pity date. This is gonna go really well.
I just can't wait. I know it's gonna bring me right back. It's gotta be as good as I remember.
We agreed to meet up at a ramen place. I sent him a message that I had just arrived. That's when I saw him leaning against a beat-up-looking car. He was a short, chubby Asian man, none of which bothered me. But what did bother me was that he was smoking a cigarette at the time, but it got worse later on down the line. The first date conversation was awkward, to say the least, and I barely remember anything about it, except he mentioned that he loved to play video games, lived with roommates, and was 420 friendly. I didn't, and still don't, smoke at all, but I knew quite a few people that did, so I shrugged it off as part of compromising and accepting flaws. Well, it's a flaw for you, it's a big bonus for me. Unfortunately, I do think that bonus is going to be depleted rather quickly once we get to know him a little bit more. Little did I know, said OP, that I would be doing a lot of compromising in this relationship. Like, why even go past the first date? An entire pity relationship? Are you sure? A pity marriage? You want to do that?
Put it on and make him wanna marry me. Yeah. Put it on and make him wanna marry me.
Okay, it's your ride to take. OP says, I knew I could be awkward myself, and all the time we don't make the best first impressions, so I agreed to keep seeing him. Yeah, it's pity. Not too long after, I took Devin to the grocery store because he told me that his car was giving him trouble. Yeah, Devin's driving around in the day, woo!
It's the one in the parking lot with the spinning aquarium rims and the Yu-Gi-Oh stickers.
OP says this wasn't really a big deal, and it gave me the opportunity to see his house and meet his roommates before we headed off to the movies. I carried a bag of stuff in, and one of his roommates took me upstairs to show me where to drop it off. When I tell you the red flags were all over the place, there's supposed to be more than that sense, I think. OP says my jaw was on the floor with all his clothes, clumps of combed out hair. Oh, it's over, bros. Bottles, chip bags, wads of dollar bills, and all chaos. One part of me wanted to run right then and there, and the other part tried to rationalize by saying, well, no one's perfect. You gotta compromise in relationships. Yeah, don't you want to live in a trash pile?
We live in a big pile of garbage!
Relationships take work, yada yada. Yeah, but this is not gonna get anywhere near middle ground, okay? This cocktail of emotions shot me into what I called a productive rage, and I went off on him. I told him to grab some trash bags, and we tore through his room and picked up the clothes and stripped his bed. His roommates were dying in the other room the whole time. We skipped the movies and went to the nearest laundromat where we washed and folded everything for the rest of the day. He expressed his gratitude and told me that it was the best thing that ever happened to him. Yeah, it ain't gonna last long. You're not willing to do the work that it takes to maintain the nice thing that she's just done for you. It's also pretty hilarious that the roommates are laughing. It's such a roommate thing, isn't it? So yeah, after finally getting his room in a livable condition, he asked me to stay the night since I was obviously exhausted. I barely got any sleep. The bed was a twin. I was on my side, faced and smushed up against the wall. He snored like a chainsaw, and whatever sleep I could get was interrupted because I had to elbow him when he would randomly stop breathing. Nobody's perfect. You gotta compromise. Long-lasting relationships take work. These are the things that I would tell myself whenever he asked me to stay over for a hellish night's sleep.
Gubbins here tale, woman fight for love, man fight for breath. Twin bed, twin brain, Gubbins.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. Here comes a speed round. I hated it when he went to kiss me, especially after smoking. My wife feels the same way. I don't know what to tell her a lot of the times, honestly. You married it. I'm sorry. He never bothered to get his car fixed, and I would drive Devin to and from work like I was his personal taxi. He got upset whenever I was on my phone or watching videos with any type of feminist theme, saying that those videos were toxic. He wanted me to sit and watch him play video games, and disregarded me whenever I asked for games that we could both play together, because yeah, I enjoy video games too, just not games with highly sexualized anime themes. What was that, Stellar Blade? He played Stellar Blade. Hey baby, come watch me play Stellar Blade.
I saw that! Disgusting pervert!
I'm gonna objectify this pixel lady in front of you. See how you feel about it. It's not a great move. He bragged about being a good lover, but latching onto me like an algae-sucking fish on aquarium glass made me think otherwise. Yeah, please don't ever leave me. He was high the majority of the time. I honestly didn't know until he admitted it to me and asked me to be around him when he wanted to try acid. Oh, neat. This is going down a road, isn't it? But we're still just rolling along with it, even though he's like weird and damaged. I guess maybe OP could fix him, you know? I still remember the one day he agreed to be sober and we went out to dinner. I appreciated that day because I felt like I could talk to him authentically. However, at dinner, he admitted to eating an edible before leaving the house. And I saw in real time how it was taking effect as he slowly slipped away from me. Everything came to a head when the trip happened. Oh yeah, it will do that. Any tension that you've been holding on to, it will be released. It's all gonna come to a climax. And you're going to be tripping balls the whole time. This is going to be a experience that's deeply ingrained in your subconscious forever. He wanted me to drive with him to Asheville, North Carolina, to meet his sister who was visiting the States for the first time. Cool! We agreed to split the costs to rent a car and a hotel, and on the day of, when I was ready to pick up the rental car, he told me that his license was suspended because he stopped paying his car insurance when his car broke down. This meant that he could not legally drive. He paid the DMV $500 in fines and thus couldn't help pay for the rental.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about meeting your sister. I mean, apparently OP does. Ride or die for just, like, some reason that I'm mystified about. There's literally no reason. Is this better than being alone? Is it? So yeah, OP says I had to take my car. I recently finished repairs and maintenance, but I didn't get the chance to test drive it to make sure everything was stable, so I had to drive 6.5 hours over 400 miles on a wing and a prayer, there and back, all alone, and I mean alone. He said he would keep me company, but 30 minutes into the trip, he fell asleep. Maybe it's better this way, honestly. Like, neither of you really likes each other, even. I love deep car conversations with wife. This guy's like, yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward time. Thanks for getting us there, but don't talk to me. OP says, thank God for audiobooks. His sister was nice enough, though I didn't appreciate that the first thing she did when we picked her up from the airport was to touch my hair, which was in an afro at the time, and asked me to give her cornrow braids. I don't know how to do those. But surely you must. That's ridiculous. Clearly there's a cultural barrier here, but that's good. We can learn about each other. We stayed for 2 days. I was exhausted getting back after another 6-hour drive. On the way home, there was a hurricane approaching our city, and one of his friends called and said that their house burned down. Jesus. Devin was rightfully upset, and I offered him to stay at my place until we were able to figure something out. When we arrived to look at the damage, it turns out that there wasn't any, and the whole thing was some sort of sick prank. I was livid and found nothing funny about that at all, but he told me I was overreacting, that his friends were simply playing a prank. Yeah, your house burned down and all of your possessions are gone. Cool prank, man. He loved me for how caring I was, wanting to help him in his time of need. I mean, that's really the only reason that he likes you, OP. You just give him stuff, you know? It's not a two-way relationship at all. How's your self-respect these days? Are you remembering that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it? Because I'll tell you every single day. You check us out over on Spotify or iTunes or Spreaker or whatever. I mean, YouTube too, but in a pinch, Spotify will do it. And yeah, you need to know, because you fucking deserve better. This is tragic.
He doesn't deserve you. If he doesn't treat you right by now, you're gone. I'm gone. Now go chop his dick.
Something was brewing inside of me. I didn't know what it was, but I knew my give and take compromising fuse was getting really short. Yeah, he's all take. You're all give. It's not gonna work. I ended up staying over since the storm was starting. Streets flood quickly here. His roommates went out of town, so we had the house to ourselves. The next morning, we were supposed to make breakfast together. As usual, it turned into a solo activity. He slept in, and when he did wake up, he just stood there and stared at me the whole time. Deep breaths. I'm telling you, he's a weird guy. We could have accepted that on date 1 and saved everybody a whole lot of time, you know? He decided that since I was here, today was the day that he would try his acid. Yeah. Are you free all day? Are you free for like the next 12 hours? Because you need to babysit me. Like even more than usual. Literal man-child. Jesus. OP says, I mostly wanted to be left alone and watch My Little Pony, which was my comfort show at the time. He called it stupid and childish and girly. But at that point, I just didn't care. I was waiting out the storm and needed to spend some time away from him after that. Well, I guess Sid kicked in because he was talking about how vibrant and colorful everything was. After one episode, he wanted to get up and watch something more manly and less cringy, like a horror anime. And yeah, that sounded like a bad idea. It's definitely not gonna bring the right vibes. I hugged him and tried to convince him to stay and do something that I like to do, for once. While I was hugging him, he pinched my nipples super hard. I pushed him back and was like, what the hell? And he responded, you shouldn't have held me like that since I'm super out of it. All of this while he was on the damn trip that he wanted me to witness so badly. Yeah, isn't it super fucking fun? It's like being sober around drunk people. They're having a great time. I'm bored as shit. I'm just reminded how dumb humanity really is. Monkey brain like funny juice. And OP says, at this point I had finally had enough. Screw compromising. Relationships take work, but clearly this one was not working. Hurricane be damned. I packed all my things and drove the fuck home. I was completely numb. The whole process. After being bombarded with half-assed apologies and the, I'll never do it again. I'll quit smoking. I swear I'm a good guy. My only response was to send him the music video to Can't Raise a Man by K. Michelle.
Can't raise a man. He's already grown. What you gonna do?
He responded, I don't see what that has to do with me. Because he didn't listen to it. You don't get it. It's a metaphor, you fucking mouth breather. I blocked his number and his socials, told my friend about what happened, and she said, well, maybe I should give him a second chance. So yeah, I no longer talk to her either. She was trying to scrape her trash off onto your plate, OP. You almost ate it, too. You took at least a couple bites. I learned to trust my instincts from the get-go after that. It was hard, especially now, knowing all this time that I was an undiagnosed neurodivergent that had a hard time picking up social cues. Still, I learned what to look out for. Don't give them chances, ever! TLDR, gave a stoner nice guy Neckbeard a chance, and he wanted me essentially to be his new mom. Never again. I think the thing that mystifies me most about all this is just how it got this far. Like, you clearly didn't like him on the first date, but maybe it has to do with being neurodivergent. I don't know. This is what people do, so it's something I feel I should do too. But at like 26, it's I don't know. I think I got a fucky head too, but I had it more figured out at 26. But everybody has a different timeline. I don't know. Hope you're doing better now. That's one thing I can say.
Gubbins Hairtail. Woman want partner. Get pocket goblin with vape lung, fish mouth, and acid brain. Man no need girlfriend, man need babysitter. Gubbins.
Vape lung? He didn't vape, he smoked cigarettes. It's fine. Gubbins, I love you. You're a fun little fellow. Much unlike Devin. He's miserable, and he was able to drag you into his misery for at least a little while, but I'm glad you escaped the trap. Again, these motherfuckers ain't gonna give me twice. That's what I know! So, we'll go ahead and move on into the next story, and I hope you will enjoy. This post simply titled, Creepy Ass Nice Guy.
That explains a lot.
We see it a few. I was in high school, and I made friends with a guy named Ben. He was tall, and a bit chubby, had the beginnings of a neckbeard. He wrote poetry and liked to talk about how he would be a famous writer. We got close as we had classes together. Overall, he seemed like an okay guy. I came out as a lesbian and he seemed cool with it. We used to hang out and go for walks after school. There was a forest path between my home and the school, and he would walk me through it to make sure that I was safe. Oh, I don't trust that one little bit. Yeah, just come with me out into the woods. I think I'm good, dude.
Walk you home like protector? No. Just early recon for weird ambush. Gubbins smell pre-cringe from mile away. Forest path safer than neckbeard with feelings. Gubbins.
Just facts, dude. I will walk the forest path with just a pointy stick, thank you. I feel much safer. Things began to get weird when he told me that we should be together because our friends thought we'd make a great couple. I had to remind him that I was not interested in men on numerous occasions. One day he invited me to his place. I asked if his parents were home because my parents didn't like me going to people's houses if their parents weren't home. He told me that his dad would be home by the time we got to his place. So the answer's no. So yeah, I'm not gonna go. While walking to his place, he told me that his dad was a pastor and could fix my homosexuality. To which I replied, no, conversion therapy doesn't work. And he dropped it. Yeah, for now. This is a dangerous situation to be in, you know? I don't like this one little bit. So we get to his house and his dad is still not home. Called it. Ben said his dad was likely on the way home from work and would be home any minute, and I believed him, naively. He asked me to go hang out in the basement.
I am not going up there.
I'm not going out there.
I'm definitely... Oh.
Sorry, bro.
You don't do that. It wasn't too weird, as I usually hung out with friends in their basements before. Yeah, but this one has a padlock on the door. You don't think that's a little weird? We were sitting on the couch in the basement just talking regularly, and then things got weird.
No parent. Basement trap. Fire all alarms. This not friend hangout. This is boss level side quest into pit of bad vibes. Gubbins scream at timeline. Gubbins.
The endless bad vibes. I'm skeeved out like since this started. Why'd you have to go into the basement? I'd rather not go into the basement. So yeah, things got weird. He didn't believe that I was a lesbian because him and I spent lots of time together. Our friends thought we'd be a good couple, and he talked about how his dad could fix me again. It had been half an hour. His dad still wasn't home, and I was starting to get nervous and suspicious that Ben had lied to me. No, you don't think. I couldn't get a word in, but then it happened. He scooched close and started caressing my face and said, "You are just so beautiful." And I was terrified that I was about to experience some actual bad touch. I got up and bolted up the stairs, grabbed my shoes, and ran out of the house. He ran after me asking, "What happened?" And I told him I just wanted to go home. Please don't talk to me about this or anything ever again. Thank you. He asked if he could walk me home, and I sternly said, "Absolutely not." I love that.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
I didn't stop, and he just kept following me when I reached the forest. I ran home. I never told my parents about it because my father would have killed him, and I just wanted to move on and forget the whole ordeal. Luckily for me, he left for an exchange trip for a semester soon after the incident, so I didn't have to see him. I guess that part is merciful, yes. The next semester he came back. Oh no! He just started hanging out with his friends again as if nothing had ever happened.
Come back like nothing happened? Nah. This man respawned without patch notes. Gubbins would have handed him map to nearest tar pit. Gubbins.
I think I have a quest to kill tar beasts, but yeah, I'm not grouping up with that guy. Ben did stop being creepy, however, and we never talked about the incident. Over time, I decided to give him another chance, but would only go to public places with him. Public places with him. I think that's a pretty good rule. I wouldn't have even given the other chance, but, you know, good for you trying to be the bigger person and such. I ran into him while I was out walking and decided to join him on his stroll. I told him about how a girl in my class asked me to go out on a date and that I was excited. He stopped and then began yelling at me that lesbians have an easier time getting dates because women are wearier of men than women. He told me I had ruined his exchange trip because I ran out of the house when he came on to me. He rambled on about how being a lesbian is a sin, and his dad could fix me so I could be with him. God, this is so creepy. Stop it with that shit, alright? Fix yourself first. You put the Zappy helmet on and tell me how you feel. It was so cringy, and really, I didn't even know how to respond, other than just walking away and going home. I avoided him like the plague after that, but I would catch him giving me awkward stares, and he would send me poetry about how much he wanted me. Thankfully, I moved shortly later. The last time I saw him was when I was on a road trip. I spotted him filling his car at a gas station, and immediately hunkered down in my car until he drove away. After that, never saw him again. Yeah, he knows he's wrong. He doesn't want to bring up the couch incident. But because you guys have not talked about it openly, he thinks suddenly it's okay and he can, like, try for round 2. That's fucking crazy. He's a squirmy little warm boy. I hated every event in the story. Hey, Gubbin, can you recap every event in the story for me? I'd appreciate it.
Story go like this. Cave girl nice, goblin man not. Say he write poem, but brain full of soup. Try fix what not broken. Lie about dad. Lure to basement. Touch without ask. Then scream at sky when girl no want him. Think world owe him warm cave cuddle. It no. World owe him bonk. Gubbins.
It no. World owe him bonk. Gubbins is so wise. Oh man. That's all I really want to see. A bonk or 20 with a good old fashioned ReddX Industries brand lead pipe. Pick it up in the merch shop over on 4th Wall at some point in the future when we learn how to source fucking laser engraved lead pipes. Really, really good one. I'm glad everybody's just, able to move away and the problem's over. The problem's over. It's a nice resolution, not necessarily fireworks, but kinda nice. We'll try our luck with another one, and I implore you to share this video around if you do enjoy it. This post is titled, "My entire family accepted a nice guy as a family friend until he showed his true colors." Well, good. I'm glad they saw it for what it was. I never really realized this guy that I knew for years would be considered a nice guy until recently, as well as how traumatizing the entire ordeal was to my whole family. Brace yourself, because I'm going through 15 years of red flags, so excuse the long post. I tried to condense it as much as possible. Also, trigger warning for, racist things said by this dude at the end. Nice, clashy. Back in 2005, my mom and dad started going to this culty church. The church is a whole other story. We could get into that if you want. And they brought my eldest sister, K, 12, my middle sister, P, who was 9, and I, 4, to this place, where, of course, we met people who wanted to be friends with us. I do not remember how we met Nice Guy because I was really young, but all I remember is him coming over to our house and mainly hanging out with my dad because the strict social rules of the church was that men mainly hung out with other men, unless they're pursuing someone because God put it in their heart that they're supposed to get married. This is the Mormon church, isn't it? I hate to point fingers, but it all feels rather familiar. Could be any religion, really, though. He didn't look like the stereotypical fedora-wearing nice guy, other than the fact that he was quite portly and only wore a blue dress shirt, black slacks, black dress shoes, always had his hair combed in a way that looked like it was molded onto his head, like those old Ken dolls from the 90s, and he had a full mustache. Yeah, that's not uncanny valley levels at all. So this dude mainly hung around with my dad and watched weird comedy things, but would also talk a lot to my mother about spiritual stuff and theology. And he would show me, K, and P cool educational videos and computer programs and give us gifts such as exotic fruits that my working class fighting to stay above the poverty line family could really only dream of trying. I mean, some of that seems kind of nice on the surface, but this is going to go belly up at some point, right?
Men sneak into broken homes like spiritual handyman with fruit bribes. Gubbins no trust man who gift mango and trauma in same basket. Gubbins.
Yeah, I will admit, mangoes are delicious, but yeah, not worth suffering any sort of trauma for, okay? Unless it's like falling out of a mango tree, then, hazards of the job. Whatever. Mom liked this guy hanging around because he was contributing to some of our homeschool education. Oh, the culty church and the homeschooling? Oh my god. Do your parents call poo sin and make you keep it in little bags?
This sin is especially long and dark today.
Shine on, you crazy Mormons. Could possibly be someone to evangelize and convert my dad and make him stop maltreating us. Jesus. And also because she felt like she could talk to him and he helped with handyman work and fixed our computer problems. Even though I did enjoy the gifts that he brought, I still had an off feeling about him. But I assumed it was because he mainly hung out with my dad. We were not the only ones that this guy hung around. He seemed to like to hang around the families of the church who had a dynamic where there were absent or maltreating husbands, and where the woman had to take more responsibility in the household. People seemed to like him, and he was a Christian, so I shrugged off any weird feelings I had towards him and blamed myself for being ungrateful. Nah, there's something more than a little sus going on here, tell you that. When I was 10, my parents separated. And my mom took me, K, and P to live away from our hometown for a couple of months in order to allow my dad to either find a decent job and work toward fixing his issues or file for divorce. I thought interactions with Nice Guy would stop there because I thought he would be friends with my dad and not really associate with us. However, I was wrong, and he wrote lots of letters of spiritual encouragement to my mom, still mailed us exotic dried fruits, and wanted to Skype with my sisters and I almost every day. Dude, you gotta fucking pump the brakes right there. What do you want to talk to all these kids for?
Back off, she's a minor!
It's weird, it's gross.
He writes scrolls like he prophet, but Gubbins read message clear. Please let me play house while real man gone. Fool shapeshift from friend to parasite. Gubbins safely. Gubbins.
Well advised. A really gross, like, snaky person, and part of me hopes that he's angling for the mom, but, like, why you want to Skype with the kids all the time? It's just fucking, I don't know, man. It's not concrete evidence of anything, but I don't feel great about it. When we returned home and filed for divorce, he visited us every day, sometimes staying from morning to midnight, either just talking to us or playing video games. Weird. I noticed this behavior of him wanting to do everything with us, more than the other families that he hung around with, and often wanted to talk primarily to my now single mother. I mean, I guess that's good. He's angling with the mom, you know. I don't think he's gonna treat her any better than the dad did. She needs some time to be alone, to reassess some shit. Why you gotta be like this? OP says, I was feeling overwhelmed because I was recovering from 10 years of maltreatment from my father, and I didn't particularly want a new man, particularly this man, to be my new stepfather, and I was increasingly convinced that this dude was trying to get with my mom. Yeah, 100%. I expressed my concern to my mom, in which she told me that she was enjoying being single and didn't want to marry anyone, and was not interested in Nice Guy. She even asked Nice Guy point blank if he wanted to marry her, and he awkwardly sputtered about how he and my mom were just friends, and brothers and sisters in Christ, and nothing more. But I was not convinced. Yeah, you can't even pull the wool over a child's eyes. The mom definitely knows. Unless her compass is way out of whack from the years of maltreatment. I don't know, man. Sad situation all around. I grew increasingly frustrated with him because he would arrive announced pretty much every day, which gave me anxiety because some days I just wanted to be at home with mom and my sisters, and we would be expected to feed him what we had in the house, which was not much, considering my mom was now single, trying to support 3 kids on her own, and also give him our attention, which sometimes I just wanted to hang out with my mom and sisters alone, without someone from the outside coming in. Lock the doors, turn the lights off. I hide under the couch. I decided the best course of action to make my point clear was to start boycotting Nice Guy. Whenever I heard a knock on the door, I'd go hide in my room and not leave for any food or water unless dragged out by my mom or Kay until he went home. I also had lots of nightmares about him doing the things that my dad used to do and keeping a tally of how many I had in a week. It didn't help that Nice Guy started using a strategy to see me if I was avoiding him on purpose by waiting until I was alone at church, and then he'd try to corner me until I faked being ill or one of my friends found me. This is horrible. You're using God's house to chase little children around? I had it. Why have you not been smited yet?
Child see the rot before adults. Gubbins trust small one. Hiding in room, not drama, is survival. Man use hurt feelings as guilt trap. Classic word trap. Gubbins no fall for fog speak. Gubbins.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's done this a time or 10 before, alright? It's the only way he knows how to subsist, is as a parasite. Oh, I know you've been hurt, girl. Just let me make it worse. What the fuck? He then told my mom that I was avoiding him and that it hurt his feelings and that my actions were getting in the way of their friendship, which made my mom mad and caused her to punish me for these actions by not allowing me to have contact with my childhood best friend because, quote, I was not allowing her to be around her best friend, despite me expressing how uncomfortable he was making me feel and how I overheard my friends and the ladies of the church gossiping about how he would make a wonderful Christian father and to be an example in Christ to these 3 girls. Fucking hens just sitting over there clucking. Why don't you get a life, you fucking blue hairs, you biddies? Go knit something until you're dead. You can't say that in church, though. Because I loved my friend so much, I decided to write an apology letter and acknowledge that my mom was right about him only being a friend. Yeah, fuck it. I'll feed into your delusion if that means I don't get punished. Very strange, very strange. My gut feeling was proven to be correct, of course, when I was 13, because during an outing that he had with my family, my mom offhandedly mentioned how she was never going to marry again, and she was happy to be single to Nice Guy, which caused something in him to snap. Yeah, the mask, eventually that elastic starts slipping, doesn't it? He started yelling at my mom about how he loved her and how she was leading him on and that she was the snake used to test him. I didn't hear the rest of the conversation because Kay decided to usher P and myself away from the scene until it had cooled down. After that, he apologized and said it was some sort of mental health issue, which Mom believed.
I have anxiety. That means I'm in my shell and have a hard time expressing myself.
Yeah, that's a convenient thing to believe. He still kept on visiting, but after that incident, Mom began to realize how taxing he was on our mental health, and we would hide from him whenever we heard him knock at the door until he went away. See? That'll solve anything. However, we did still allow him to visit occasionally because he was considered to be a close friend of P because of their love of science. I'm sorry, P, but we got the internet now, fucking Wikipedia, we don't need that dude anymore. He's a physical threat to me and my children. Like being out alone in the woods with him and he fucking explodes on you. You're just out there with your kids. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think that's the type of bridge we can really rebuild. I can't unsee. Everything seemed to go more smoothly, other than a few instances where he showed some odd spiritual beliefs about mental health and family dynamics, some of which ticked Kay off to the point that she wouldn't speak to him for a long time. He even seemed okay with us leaving the culty church and started going to Bible studies at our other church. However, it all came to a climax in 2020 when he asked to talk to my mom alone, without Kay, P, or myself. I wasn't present at the moment, so all I have is my mom's account. So we decided to keep up visiting after the initial quarantine to have social distancing meetings with our friends around a bonfire in the yard. The conversation started out normal until my mom mentioned something about the Black Lives Matters protests in passing, which caused the nice guy to become very angry again and start yelling some awful things about people of color. There are specific examples listed here, but I don't feel comfortable reading them out loud.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
He'd yell about it until he was red in the face, though. And Mom, of course, told him that she disagrees with him and that what he said was not something that Jesus would approve of. But then he turned on her, saying that because she's chosen to raise us girls as a single mother with no God-fearing man in the house, we'll become too masculine and violent and we'll end up in prison. He then started rambling about how great Donald Trump is and how QAnon's a prophet sent from God, and told my mom that if she didn't vote for Trump, then P would end herself, which is a low blow because she had tried that a few years prior. This is a whole ass fucking mess, isn't it? I don't know what to do with it. Look on in shock and horror, I guess. He said that the true children of Christ will come and purge the false believers after Donald Trump is elected as president. At a certain point, this is like so over the fucking top, isn't it? Like, yeah, we're having a fight. Let me sit here and listen to your political diatribe. I guess it could happen, but it feels straw-man-y to me. Very extreme, yes.
He wait 15 years to flip final bone. One mention of Black Lives Matter and man turn into full code bigot volcano. Say Trump good, girls bad, burn everyone. Gubbins say this not theology. This is brain mold on fire. Gubbins.
Yeah, what would Jesus do? Not whatever the fuck you just said, okay? True children of Christ. Oh, you're in for a rude awakening at some point, I tell ya. My mom said she thought that he was gonna do something terrible, like end her, until Kay came out because she heard him yelling and faked needing my mom for something inside so she could escape. Yeah, lock the doors now. Call the police.
911. Officer, right there. Come on in.
After all that, he continued to send my mom hateful emails about how she was a whore who led him on, and how our family was going to hell because we didn't hate black people. Is that one of the 10 Commandments? Which one is that? I forget. It became so concerning that my mom's employer offered to have our family hide in their basement for a couple of weeks until the heat of the election cooled off. Hey, people in America get really fucking riled up, you know? It's a false dichotomy, you morons. Stop fucking buying in. Thankfully, it never came to all that. After a couple of emails about how the election was rigged and the insurrectionists on January 6th were actually Antifa, we finally lost touch with him. And now we moved to a completely new state. There you go. Wash your hands. I still have nightmares about him stalking me and my family, but other than that, he's just a memory, and we are now moving on. Anyway, sorry for the long post. It was a lot. Honestly, I could deal with a long post, but yeah, there's trauma here that I'm unsure how to unpack with my current skill set, you know? But I did my best. TLDR, Nice Guy tries to get my mom for 15 years, makes children uncomfortable, cornering them with weird religious ideologies, then finally gets violently mad at mom and threatens her for saying that racism's bad, and tries to win her over by insulting our entire family and spewing QAnon ideas and telling her that we will be hunted and ended once Trump is reelected as president. What the fuck? Yeah, well, that's a lot. All of this was bubbling under the surface for 15 years. Do you realize that? People are really the most terrifying animals that there are. He tried to lay his plots and his plans, and thank God it blew up in his face, alright? He might have the people at church fooled, but you don't fool me. You a creep. Trust your gut, alright? That's what I know.
Nice guy acts sweet for decade and half. Underneath, moldy swamp lizard with god cosplay, daddy issues, and political brain rot. Wanted family to worship him like prophet, but cracked when no one drank his code red Kool-Aid. Gubbins say, not nice guy, not godly man, just unbaked loaf of loneliness and rage. Throw whole man in volcano. Gubbins.
That would be a good way to sort it. I personally don't think he'd make much of a sacrifice, though. The gods might be upset that we chose that man to go into the volcano, but we can find something to do with him. Deserted island, millstone around the neck, just bury him alive, you know? There's all sorts of fun you can have. He's out there threatening vulnerable women with children, making people's lives worse, and I cannot abide by any of that. He doesn't represent all of the church. I know there's some good people in there, but usually my experience at church is pretty horrible. Church usually consists of terrible people trying to convince themselves that they're not so terrible. And then as soon as they leave church, they hop on the Facebook and start talking that good shit. At least I'm honest about it. At least I'd say it to your face. I'm sure things like this might happen at some point, but not to you. It didn't happen.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened.
Date with a homophobic nice guy. How not to get a second date. Players, me, the OP, been openly bi since I was about 11 and currently in my 20s. And the nice guy went on a lot about how he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he's a nice guy, as though that deserves a medal, when actually that's just called being a decent human being. Yeah, he has a hard time with that one. I met NB through friends in 2019. He seemed nice, but did talk a lot about how girls he met would always mysteriously dump him after a few dates or ghost him. Well, I might suggest putting 2 and 2 together then, I tell people that I'm bi pretty quickly. I like to give the person the option to respectfully tell me that for personal or cultural reasons that being myself wouldn't work for them. Yeah, okay. This happens rarely when a person says something like they respect me and no hate, but it wouldn't go well with their family, for example. Sometimes you can end up friends with people who feel this way. No hate, just don't think it would work with you. I mean, I guess that's a fine way to go about life. Like, you don't vibe with some people, I don't think that has everything to do with your sexuality necessarily, but if that's a line in the sand for some people, then I guess it's a line in the sand. So I sit down and we're drinking coffee, and I see a good time to tell N that I am bi. We both have gay friends, so I wasn't expecting it to be a big deal. He also knew that I wasn't straight, but didn't know specifically what I identify as, so I told him, OP. So, N, I just wanted to tell you that I'm bi, and I hope you're cool with that. N, I don't trust your people! Excuse me, what? I wasn't sure whether to laugh or get angry. Your people, like we're some sort of hive mind or a unified collective of people who are all the same. I didn't like this. Yes, you know, your people, OP, the gays! And now's your opportunity to set him straight, I guess. Or, forgive the phrasing. I got up to leave. I have a rule about people who react badly to being told this. If they react with homophobia, then they're not worth your time. Yeah, I guess there's a difference between being respectful and being outwardly like, I hate everything that you represent. It's a little over the top, I don't know. So he jumps up and reaches out a hand dramatically as OP tries to leave. No, I didn't mean we couldn't date. I still really like you, but unlike normal girls, you have to earn my trust. Oh my god. Because I can't just trust you like everybody else. But when I have proved myself, then he would totally trust me, just like everybody else. He said this with big, wide eyes, like in a tone of bounce that said, look how kind I am, giving you a chance despite you being bisexual. Aren't I a saint? I told him I ain't gotta do shit for him, and left. Probably the right way to go. I was angry, but we later had a conversation about what happened. He wanted to talk, but from his tone, I could see he didn't really want to get to know my point of view to change. He just felt burnt about getting walked out on. He finished up with, all girls just leave and don't want to give me a chance. Boy, we do give you a chance. Your attitude blows it. Enough said. Sorry about spelling your grammar, I'm a mobile and just wanted to write this quickly. Yeah, that ain't too bad. I understand 100% where you're coming from. He really would have done anything to worm his way back in there, but I'm super glad that you did not let that happen. Any choice words of advice there, Dark Gubbins?
Sir, you are 2 awkward exhales away from putting on a fedora and writing slam poetry about why women fear intimacy. Dark Gubbins.
Why women fear intimacy? Yeah, because of dudes like this, I guess. You just going out for a coffee or something, and he's like, oh, I can't possibly, because we like the same set of genitalia, so I don't trust you. It's a really weird way to go, but whatever. I can't fix it, so we'll move on into another post. Oh, next tale. I'm not his type, but I should date him anyway, 'cause he's nice. He's just so nice. Won't you give him a chance? Nobody ever did. I love stories like this. TLDR, this guy dissed my appearance for years, saying that I wasn't his type, but was offended when I got a boyfriend because he was so nice that I should have considered him instead. Yeah, he's trying to do that, like, negging thing, which basically never works. So this is an old online interaction, and a bit after I stopped catfishing as a dude online to avoid stuff like this. Bro, what? Poor timing on my part. I met Bear, we're gonna call him that, on IMVU. Oh, I remember. Yeah, that's a terrible thing to open up in my brain, OP. We were both in a Bleach role-playing group and interacted pretty often. Bear and I had a lot of mutual friends, and eventually we started having one-on-one conversations there. I'm really into cosplay, but too shy to do it, so I kind of expressed that by being super dressed up and wearing makeup, so I feel like I have a costume on all the time. At this point, I'm not posting pictures of myself online, but I do talk about buying and trying wigs and makeup and the like, and this is where the weird stuff starts. Yeah, I mean, you're like, I want to do this fun thing for myself, and he's like, well, how can I make that all about me? Would you wear the makeup and wig that I want you to wear? It's just automatically really weird, and I don't understand why. I remember casually mentioning something along the lines of needing to fill in my brows before I went out, and Bear, who I was on Skype with at the time, made actual noises of disgust and said,
"He could never date someone who has to do that. If they don't have all their brows, then I don't want them,"
he said proudly. Oh yeah, I'm sure you're out there just sorting them all out, huh? Gotta beat them off with a stick, don't you, fella? He kept ranting about how disgusting it was and how undateable that would make someone, until I started just giving one-word replies, wondering why this topic was ever that serious. From there, it was anything, from me wearing wigs or heels or liking certain music or just anything that made me entirely undateable. And if I'm honest, it didn't bother me because at the point, I didn't find him dateable either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no girl ever does. This is just like his tactic. He's rejecting you before you can reject him. Textbook, isn't it? I ended up talking to a guy who was also into alternative stuff, and we started flirting and vibing, so I spent more time talking to the other guy that we'll call Lex. Me and Bear started talking, and I mentioned Lex to him, and he seemed pretty unfazed. Nothing changed in our relationship, and I was happy that I found someone. Oh, I'd also like to mention that around this time, I got enough courage to post selfies in a group that we were in, and now he knew what I looked like, and that made the disses more detailed. I didn't want to leave that little bit out. Well, do we know what Bear looks like? That's what I want to know. Could I go and fucking tear a piece off? Because you know I will. I don't care one little bit. Oh, the gloves are coming off, are they? Okay. Roger that shit forever. Eventually Lex and I started dating, and I went and told Bear the day we made it official, and he flipped out and started yelling at me. I asked why he was mad, and he said, "Couldn't you tell that I liked you?" What? When I responded, no, he yelled again about how I purposely ignored the signs and led him on, and
"That's what he gets for being so nice."
I reminded him again how he continuously said that I wasn't his type, and he admitted
that, yeah, I wasn't his type, but the fact that he was being nice shows he had some interest, and I should have considered him.
Well, yeah, well, fucking take a number. Get in line, Pally. Like, what? You didn't ask. What do you want me to do if you don't ask? To this day, I don't understand the logic behind this sentence, but I simply told him I don't want to date a boy who doesn't like me. To this, he answered that he obviously did, and that I was an idiot and a user. He really did nothing for me, so I don't know how I used him. I even did free art and graphics for him when we were friends, so... And he said I didn't deserve him. He stopped talking to me after that, and I wasn't too bothered. IMVU died, Skype died, and I figured we'd both moved on to different things.
Or so I thought.
2 years ago, I went to recover for some old art I did from my IMVU account and saw that for the past 5 years or so, he had been continuously messaging and gifting my old account as if nothing had happened, trying to start conversations or sending cutesy emotes. For 5 years, bro. That's about the most pathetic shit I ever heard. I don't wish anything bad on the guy, but I'm not gonna message him or anything. I'll just say good luck with whatever he's trying to do with my dead IMVU account, Lamau. Yeah, just hump the leg, I suppose. That's really all we can do at this point. You got anything to say about this one, Dark Gubbins?
He didn't like you. He liked the idea of you staying single and available forever, orbiting his fragile little ego like a dead moon. How pathetic. Dark Gubbins.
Damn, Dark Gubbins, you're pretty real. I wouldn't trust you around, my wallet or anywhere near me, basically, but he's got some insights. Everybody sees this guy for what he is. I guess I have to be grateful that it only really took place online, so that much easier to get away. Yeah, he messaged you for 5 fucking years. He's sort of just a little bit unhinged, you know what I mean? You need to be careful around that one, and I'm glad you got away. Looks like we still got some time, so we could hit another story. Why not? We got some very neckbeardy nice guy stories today. This one titled, 2 neckbeards call me slurs and try to assault me in the library when I tell them that I have a boyfriend. That seems a little over the top, doesn't it? But, yeah, I hope that they get their just desserts. So, this is the first time writing one of these stories, so sorry for the shitty quality. C, Nice Guy 1, J, Nice Guy 2. That's Carl and Jack. This year I'm a senior transsexual male-to-female girl in high school, and because of my schedule, I am an aide in the school library every other day for about 2 hours. We have different lunch periods, A through D, and each person has one of those 4. Bro, wait, already I don't really give a shit. You're going too nuanced, you know? I do have a boyfriend. This is important later. Just like information dump. Can we get some story now? Early this year, I ran into these 2 nice guys during C lunch in the library. Usually they just come to the library instead of the cafeteria, without a pass, of course, but I didn't have the authority to tell them off. Well, you know what you gotta do then? You just wave a gun in their face. That'll send the message. After I was done shelving books, I'd usually go over to the graphic novel section and find a manga to read on the comfy couches over there. Wow, what a job, huh? Look at you doing this job. You're doing the hell out of that job, ain't you? Fucking layabout. This, of course, was where those 2 nice guys were sitting every time they came to the library. One of them started calling over to me and just said, "Hey, beautiful!" So I replied with a simple and meek, "Thank you." And this continued pretty much every day that I was aiding again. I mean, so far so good, I guess, but you know how these things go. It starts out with, "Hey, beautiful," then they ask for the number, and it doesn't happen, and then the meltdown. So I'm not going to give them any credit just for being civil to start. So one day, Carl asked for my number. Luckily, I was smart enough to not give it out, but simultaneously stupid enough to offer my Discord to him. Later that night, Carl started saying some plain creepy things to me in the DMs that I would rather not repeat here because they were just so gross. Can you give me a clue? I probably don't want to. I probably regret asking. The next time I saw Carl and Jack in the library, they were sitting on the comfy couches and calling out to me again with, "Hey, beautiful," and proceeded to ask me out. Both of them, at the same time. I informed them that I've been dating a boy for the past year, and Carl accuses me of leading him on. Jack then says, "Bring me that honey bun bulge!" What? What? In all the realm of things that did not happen, this did not happen the most, okay? Maybe being a senior in high school is just fucking like way different than I remember, but I don't think any of what you said actually happened. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I would have understood like one guy asking you out, but 2 of them both at the same time. And one's talking about your honey bun bulge. Fuck. No, get off my screen. I hate it. Opie says I'm wincing as I'm typing this. Carl followed up with, "Yeah, I want that bulge." Like I said, of all the things that did not happen, please, high school seniors, I can't buy it. I'm sorry. I corrected them saying that I was a girl, and Carl said that I was just a trap. Please make sure you inform viewers that word is a slur. Hey, that thing that everybody says on 4chan all the time, everybody, it's a slur. You shouldn't say that. Although, to be fair, it's not one of the worst slurs that you could say. Whatever, it's bad. Jack then added, "The dick makes it better." Oh, God. These dudes they're fucking out to lunch. I don't know what's happening. You like what you like, okay, that's fine, but also, you're making it everybody else's problem, including mine. And I don't like that. I'm not gonna sign off on any of that. All this was grossing me out too much, and I tried to move away. Jay started moving toward me and grabbed my arm. Luckily, I was able to break free and ran behind the desk where the actual librarians would be able to see me if anything happened. I basically spent the rest of the day crying in the counselor's office, but I was able to identify them to administration, and they were suspended for a few days as well as banned from the library permanently. I, of course, blocked Carl on Discord. I still see them in the hallways, but I have informed them that if anything happens, I will press charges. I mean, as well you should. Anybody would press charges, but I don't know, man. This one seems just like slightly outlandish. How do you feel about this one, Dark Gubbins?
Ah yes, a totally real tale where two goblins co-op a library couch and transform rejection into assault. Try harder, fiction author. Your incel fanfic is showing. Dark Gubbins.
Damn, Dark Gubbins don't think it real either. Fucking based. I love that. Yeah, I'm sure things like this might happen at some point, but not to you. It didn't happen.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened.
This is just somebody screaming into the internet and trying to insist that, you know, they're desirable to absolutely everybody. I'm sorry. You're no Mary Sue. That's what I'll tell ya. You're definitely written like one, but that's why I don't believe it. So we'll continue on into the next story, shall we? Oh, this one's short and sweet. A little behind on my rent. Opened up to a friend and he asks to do it.
Well, I got a couple $100 I can loan you, but you gotta...
That's terrible. I don't know. Is that a friend? That's terrible. OP says, I honestly can't believe it. I've never sent a nude in my life, and this guy I was becoming so interested in put the biggest red flag that I've ever personally experienced. I asked for a loan for 2 weeks, and he says if he had incentive, then he'd just let me keep it. I offered any material items as collateral, even offered my family pictures, but when none of the items seemed to be good enough for him, I got fed up and straight up asked, well, what do you want? You trying to buy my body? And I honestly was so surprised by his answer.
Yeah, that way you could just keep the money.
Yeah, if only things were this simple. You know, I think it gets a little twisted up. I don't think that OP is willing to do all that. And good for her, honestly. Like, I understand times is tough. It's hard to make some fucking money out here. But this is sinking to the lowest depths as far as I'm concerned. OP says I begged for him to take anything else, but he wasn't having it. I literally felt like a dog with a treat being dangled over my head. I moved so I could regain my independence and my self-worth, and this was one of the lowest blows that I have ever faced. I'd sooner be homeless than sell my body, but honestly it freaking hurts because I thought this guy respected me only to find out that I was only a slam piece for him. A slam piece? Well, he paid, didn't he? No, it's really disrespectful to even ask. I don't know why that idea would ever cross your fucking mind. It's like, hey, can I get a loan? Do you ever walk into the pawn shop and offer them a piece of ass? TLDR, a little behind on rent, and was asked to sell my body by a nice guy. Yeah, that's how nice he was. He was willing to let you have the loan and just keep the money after, but also you have to do this thing that is basically disgusting. Yeah, that really hurts me deep down in my soul, but I guess that's what we're here for, isn't it? It's a short one. I don't need commentary from fucking Gubbins. Let's move on. This story is, Nice Guy asked me to marry him 2 days after asking me out. Yeah. Is he Mormon? I know Mormons like to do that type of shit all the time. Anyway, approximately 3.5 years ago, a guy I went to school with asked me out 2 weeks after I got out of a relationship. I decided to give it a shot, hoping that it would help me move on from the previous relationship. Yeah, I guess rebound's still a thing. That was mistake number 1. 2 days after he asked me out, he took me out on a date, and he took me to a place that I will call Mountain Park. The sun was setting, and he took my hands. I'm gonna call him Mac for censorship reasons. Mac.
So, I know we've been together for a couple of days, but I have a serious question for you.
OP says, okay. Mac proceeded to get down on one knee and said,
OP, ever since I met you, I knew I wanted to ask you this. OP last name, will you marry me?
Yeah, how about no? And also, fuck no. What would possess you to even ask? Now, he and I had only known each other for about 3 years at this point, and as I had mentioned, he had only asked me out 2 days ago. I told him no, but I stayed with him. That was mistake number 2. Every day since that day, during the 2 months that we were together, he tried to convince me to marry him. He would rub my finger and say something along the lines of, "There should be a ring on this finger. We should get your ring size. We should get your dress size," etc. He'd also buy many gifts and say something along the lines of, "Anything for my future wife," even though I had said no to marrying him multiple times. Talked about our future together. "You'd stay at home and raise our 11 children. You'll clean up after everyone without any help, etc. Oh, yeah. That last one's really the clincher, isn't it? I can't wait to clean up after 11 human beings. That sounds like the highlight of my life. Oh, boy. Those were only what I could even remember. The biggest kicker was, while he was still dating me, he tried to flirt with my younger sister right next to me. And that was when I decided to end things. Wow, you put up with all that other bullshit, but the younger sister thing's really what got in your craw, huh? I guess, whatever. As long as you get the right answer eventually. For the next few years, he tried making new accounts on Facebook and Snapchat, which was why I deleted Snapchat after blocking him 27 times, and on Instagram, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to message me again using a different account today. He said that he still wants to be friends, but I immediately turned him down. Hey Mac, if you're reading this, fucking leave me alone. Long story short, Nice Guy asked me to marry him 2 days after asking me out, and he won't leave me alone. Well, yeah, that sounds like it about sums it up. I'm surprised that he got 2 months out of you. That's really unsettling that you would just be like, yeah, okay, well, we'll just keep it going for funsies. It's a fun thing to do right now, until you keep telling him no, and he's like, if I can't have you, nobody can. He stabs you in your sleep and stuff. I've seen it happen before, bro. Don't fuck with it for real. Anyway, yeah, great post, I guess.
2 days in and he's proposing a hostage situation with vows. Romance speedrun straight into a restraining order. Dark Gubbins.
Yeah, the restraining order is like a S tier rank, I'm pretty sure. That means you did it extra really good. I don't think he's going to learn his lesson. But not my problem. We'll just move on into another one. Watch another train wreck feels pretty good, honestly. So join me over there. This OP asks, am I overreacting or am I in the right? And this might be worth overreacting subreddit. We haven't been there in a minute, mostly because it's like, you know, way too over the top. But we'll see how this one goes. I, 19 male, have been crushing on my friend, 19 female, for about 2 years. Oh, the OP is the nice guy? Crazy. Recently, I talked to her and somehow someone brought up Valentine's Day. Yeah, somehow, somebody. I don't know how it got brought up. It wasn't me for sure. Just the day was approaching. I was like, hey, what do you think? She's like, okay, cool. I mentioned I'd never had a genuine Valentine and haven't really dated someone before. And she told me that out of our friends, she would prefer to date me. Well, that seems like a really nice thing at first until you realize that, yeah, you're still in the friend zone there. I wouldn't take that date, honestly. It sets the wrong precedent. I jokingly asked her if we could be a Valentine's, and I joked, and she acted super happy and said yes. Yeah, your joke wasn't really a joke. It was a joke unless. We ended up hanging out really close for a week or two, and even shared a few meals together. Eventually on Valentine's Day, I brought her a bouquet and a plushie of a cow, which is her favorite animal, and she gave me some chocolate too. Oh, look at this. That seems like a real Valentine's. Did they have the SpongeBob with the Tutti Frutti candy cane attached? Because that's all I will accept for my Valentine's. I'm telling you right, if you bring me anything else, it's going in the trash. We decided a week before to go to this weird Valentine's dance for her college, and we both showed up where I met her friends. Whoa, sounds like things getting official, huh? We kind of just hung out for a few minutes when this guy showed up who seemed to know her, and he apparently is some dude who really likes her. Damn, it's competition! She said he was just jealous of us, but I wasn't really buying it. Eventually, we went to go dance to a slow song. We were halfway through the song when she said if it was okay if she could go and dance with him. Bro, you got cucked at the dance? The weird college Valentine's dance? On your first Valentine's ever? Oh my god, I fucking... I feel for you. You're breaking my heart right now. You know? This is most unfortunate. I was really confused when she asked me, but I reluctantly agreed. She went with him, and I just sat on the side of the room. After a little bit, she came back and said she was sorry. They both hung out all night, and I became the third wheel. I eventually just decided to let them be, since we probably wouldn't have worked out anyway. She came over to me and said she just wanted to stay friends, and I said I agreed, even though inside I did not. I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, I saw her making out with the other guy in front of me, not even trying to hide it. Bro, fucking F in the chat, honestly. This is so sad. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Like, this is outright evil. Maybe she didn't plan it out to be some big evil thing, but this is fucking life-changing stuff right here. Evil! You didn't miss much. She's a harpy. She's trying to steal your soul away, OP. Run away while there's still time. We left and still talk every now and again, but I feel really uncomfortable around her, and I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I deserve to feel upset with her. What should I do? Fucking, yeah, take the L and move on. Basically, that's all I can suggest. Try to avoid that situation in the future. Like, even when she said, oh, out of our friend group, I would date you, and yeah, you know that's not really a real date, right? You know? It's setting the wrong precedent, the wrong tone, and you fell right for the trap. You hate to see it, honestly. I'm sorry to see it happen to you, OP, but hopefully you learned a bit of a lesson, and we're doing better now. Maybe. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, Patreon, YouTube memberships, I'd appreciate that a heck of a lot. Fourth wall, if you want some merch. Dark Gubbins pillow, maybe coming soon, perhaps. I don't know. Do you want Dark Gubbins, or should I change them back to regular Gubbins? We got some options, so let me know how you feel down in the comments. I appreciate you. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you're worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.